not know you, but I do know you. I never forget a face. This is Ceti Alpha 5! Welcome to the Carcass, Ceti Alpha 5. This is a Star Trek themed indie game. Well, the game itself is not exactly Star Trek themed. It is a post-apocalypse survival game, and Ceti Alpha 5 is nothing if not a post-apocalypse survival scenario. We are taking it to the Star Trek universe because Stowe. At any rate, you can see that we all have hilarious little costume bits, so nice headband. Perfect. The players of this game are going to be playing the augments that are part of Khan's crew. But, anachronistically, Khan will have just died. So we're going to see how the augments survive without their fearless leader. I'm going to go over a little bit of how the Carcass is played. It is an indie game, so a lot of people have not heard about it. It is great fun, though. I'm going to give you an opening. So it has been 15 years since you and your kin were marooned on Ceti Alpha 5 by Captain James T. Kirk and the crew of his starship, the Enterprise.
Those jerks.
Now, many of you may not have even been born when this happened, but as augments you age and mature much more readily than normal humans. So despite the fact that you are basically teenagers, you have the bodies of adults, the strength of superhumans, and the minds of geniuses. This is probably the only reason why you survive on the desolate world that is Ceti Alpha 5. You've spent those 15 years, give or take, cursing the Enterprise and its crew for the hell they have damned you to, vowing to survive if only to exact revenge. But when Khan died, all that mattered was survival. How does play work? This is normally a GM-less game. I'm basically going to be functioning as the NPCs arrayed before me, which I don't think you guys can see on the stream, which is fine. The players need to see them.
Secret NPCs.
So I will be playing NPCs when they appear in scenes. Those scenes are directed by our various players who take turns acting as director. So the players are taking turns directing scenes of their survival on a world that seems hellbent on their doom. But without a leader, there is no plan. And without a plan, there is no hope for survival. Each of you has a plan for the survival of your fellows. Each of you is invaluable to the survival of your kin. Who will you trust in? Who will be the next Khan? When you are directing a scene, any players that are involved in that scene may take actions. The person who is directing their character must A, be in the scene, and B, must take an action. What do I mean by an action? An action is something that has do or die or incredibly meaningful results, either for good or ill. Actions are bold, they're potentially risky. Success and failure will have lasting consequences. That could be bodily injury, that could be distrust from the rest of your survivor group. Everything has a lasting consequence. You may also take an extended action in a scene. This usually takes 2 to 5 scenes to fully resolve. The first scene that you take an extended action is basically you setting up the plan and defining what are all the steps necessary to do it. So building something very complicated versus getting in a fight with somebody. The first is an extended action, the latter is an immediate action. You may only take one of each action once per scene. You do not have to take an extended action if you do not wish to, and you do not have to take an action unless your character is the one directing the scene. Drama. As play unfolds, your plans will be revealed, tested, and pursued. But resources are dwindling on Ceti Alpha 5, and failure is a blow to both morale and survival. Bold decisions must be made. Do or die decisions. Drama will unfold on Ceti Alpha 5, and the script will be written in tears and blood.
Hooray!
Foils! Players, please look to your left. If you are on the far left, please look across menacingly at the person opposite. This is your foil. Mind you, the player is your foil, not their character. They, the player, will interpret your die results when you roll for an action. Roll well, and they will heap glory upon you. Roll poorly, and they will drown you in despair. Do not fret, though. Fate can be tempted to bargain, if only so it can smile upon another it has chosen to favor, i.e. the foil's character might benefit from a bargain. How do you bargain? There are things called drama points. They are extra dice you have in front of you, potentially. Some of you don't start with extra dice. You just have the normal 2 dice. Drama points can be spent to add a die or more to a die roll. You then take the 2 that you prefer out of the whole pool of dice that you have rolled. But they have another function. They can break any rule. You can also use them to bargain. If you roll particularly terribly and you think your character is about to die, you might want to bargain with your foil by bribing them with drama points. No matter what, whenever you spend a drama point, whether it's a bargain or otherwise, they go to your foil. This, of course, can be broken by the drama point rule of them breaking any rule. You can always bargain with somebody who isn't your foil, and then, of course, the drama point goes to them rather than your foil. The drama points are what are fueling all of the action in the Carcass. You need drama points to reliably succeed on stuff, but sometimes you just don't have any because your foil is being stingy and not using them because they happen to have rolled well a scene or 2 ago. All right, trepidation. Failure's gonna happen, guys. I'm sorry. It's called the Carcass for a reason. Everything is slowly rotting away.
Ugh.
What is trepidation? Well, everything good is coming to an end, and failure lessens you in the eyes of the desperate and will haunt you if not dealt with swiftly. Every time you fail, and there's a failure, there's a chart of your action successes and failures in front of you. If it says trepidation, then a lasting distrust of you forms within the survivors. Anytime you have trepidation, and you can get multiple trepidations, you roll 1 die for every trepidation you have, and if any of them come up a 1, whatever action you were about to try and accomplish just fails, because nobody helps you. You give up on yourself. Any dramatic reason you can think of that failure just keeps mounting and the crushing despair sets in.
Yeah, Steven.
However, if you roll a 6 on any of those dice, then 1 point of trepidation goes away as you overcome the despair.
Like going to therapy.
So,
Just like there.
the premise of the Carcass is you are all surviving, things were going well, the leader has just died. In this case, it's Khan Noonien Singh. You guys are going to define how that happened. I know that there's already some ideas floating around, and we'll get to that in a second. But leadership, without a leader, you guys have no hope of survival. You need a leader in order to focus everybody and work together. So, at any point, because you are now leaderless, someone can nominate somebody, themselves included, to become leader in a scene. Then everyone votes. And if you win the vote, then guess what? You're leader. You gain a drama point. You now get to direct 2 scenes in a row instead of 1. And if you roll an 8 or higher on your action chart, you get to decide what the outcome is rather than your foil. It's pretty powerful. But you're also doing 2 scenes in a row, and you could roll really terribly, in which case then your foil, who might want leadership themselves, could have really bad stuff happen to you that makes people not want you to be leader anymore.
Great.
Anybody can vie for leadership after a leader is selected without, killing them, although that is a good way to get leadership, but it does weaken the tribe overall. But it's an extended action to do so. So an example would be, hey, I'm going to talk to people in secret over the next hours or days, and for the next couple scenes, you always insert something where it's like you're coming out of a shady conversation with someone behind a shed or something. And then 2 to 3 actions later, you reveal the, hey, everybody sided with me, I want to be leader, let's have another vote. You could also have it just be a challenge where you set up like a Ponfar fight or something. Dun 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 dun. Anyway, NPCs there are 5 of them. Again, the viewers can't see them. They have skills that you do not, but they lack ambition. They will, however, be very useful in you navigating through the survival scenario. If you need a soldier, you might want to grab Astrid. She does, after all, happen to have a Klingon disruptor.
Pew pew.
Where did she find that?
That's a good question. Weird stuff on Ceti Alpha 5. So that's her backup weapon in case her spear doesn't work out. It's come in handy, but nobody knows how many shots it has left in it because the power cell, you can't recharge it. If you need someone to go out into the wastes looking for something and to guide you back to your settlement, you might want to take, who is it? They're over here. You might want to take Devlin. He's your marker. He once got lost out in the waste for 2 months and came back alive, so he seems pretty useful. At any rate, the NPCs have skills that you guys lack. They will be useful in your survival. They will also be useful in garnering support in order to try to become leader or to get your plan off the ground. So you want to use your NPCs to see your plans to fruition, or you might just die alone. Food for the Ceti eels. And that's about it. We're going to start off with answering a couple questions to sort of define the characters. If you look at your character sheets, there are 5 questions. I've written some notes on them. You only need to answer 2 of them. If it's the secret question, please don't read that out loud. Just write down the answer and keep it to yourself. If it is a public answer, then we're going to go in order, each person answering 1 question that defines some NPC stuff or some player stuff, and a little bit about themselves. Who would like to start?
Well, what about the incentives, though? Like, should we talk about the incentives?
We should probably talk about incentives.
Just to get it out there.
Would you like to do the honors?
Yeah, I mean, I know you said that you were taking the milk out. I actually don't have the list.
Take the milk out.
Take the milk out.
Yeah,
Let's
deal
go
the
harder
milk
with
out.
milk.
Huh?
Now
We
can't.
decided 11 a.m. was too early to have habanero peppers. So.
I don't have that list in front of me at the moment.
Okay, does someone have a list?
We got.
Oh.
We can just
right.
make it up. It'll be great. Too early for pepper.
There was a donation with
Ah,
a
there
request
it
for
is.
one.
Oh, for
what?
what was the request?
Cryptic Archon, you know, one who
Right.
was so generous yesterday, wants you to scream con 25 times.
I have to screen
25 times?
Like in a row or like throughout?
Well, I think one of the incentives is $1 to screen per con. Am I correct?
I am failure at this laptop. I cannot get the mouse to show up.
Technical support needed.
What's that?
The red button.
Oh. Ugh.
He's got to find the red button.
So I have to screen con 25 times.
Like in a
How do I
row
scroll up
or?
on this?
Maybe
row
make
or
a mark
just-
each time you
How do I scroll
your
up?
actions with it.
On the chat, because most of the
Prelude my
images
actions with it.
disappeared already.
If you click on it,
I don't know what that means.
You say it before you do anything.
So yeah, I'll do that.
And it is
Con!
all like go.
There's
like,
one.
At any rate, yeah, I know
One.
most of it
There's
by
one
heart,
for you.
but
I got 24
so
more.
for $1, you can have a player of your choice shout either Khan or one of the other character names,
Like
in
Khan!
a grammatically appropriate fashion. An example would be Khan.
Oh, that's.
Yeah, you're going to need to step it up.
Can you
Oh
like
shit.
do worse next time?
Khan.
There you go. That seems more doable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got 23 more to
Con?
go, so we'll have.
It also seems doable.
I'll have to clear my throat a little bit and get.
I need that list. I can't read the chat.
Technical support.
We also have an NPC named Sean, so
Sean!
Sean,
we're going to have to
Ryan.
yell an NPC name.
All right. I am engaged with the mouse now. Yay! Mouse wheels for the win. All right. For $5, you may select a player, and they have to give a drama point to their foil.
Ooh.
Sucker.
Let's see. For $5, you may instead have selected player get a reroll that they can use once at any time. This could be for trepidation, for example.
Sweet.
Um,
I'm gonna need that.
For $10, a selected player, or a player of your choice, chooses their foil for the next scene. So instead of the person to their left, it is someone else. This is a way to get drama points moving in very interesting ways and to get around blockers. Let's see, for $10 also, a selected player becomes the foil for a player of their choice. So you might select someone and then they get to choose who they want to be the foil for.
Would you be double foil, possibly?
No, because it's only for one scene. So you're only ever foil for one scene. But you basically will steal it away from somebody who would normally be foil. And for $20, the selected player can take another turn.
Sweet.
The last and not least is for $50, you, the viewer, can suggest the next scene and all the players are involved in it.
That can't go wrong at all.
Nope.
Nothing could possibly go wrong.
Should be
We've
fun.
certainly never been to Sesame Street.
Alrighty.
Who
So,
knew that it was on Ceti Alpha 5?
you guys have a couple questions in front of you. Have you done any
Answers?
thoughts and
Yes.
answers on those? Nick, why don't you
Oh,
start?
I'm starting with
Sure.
with the question.
Yeah, just read
Oh.
the question and answer it.
Get the characters' names so that
Oh,
we
right,
have
right.
them.
Yeah.
Let's introduce the
As we go.
characters first.
How about we do that?
Yeah, we'll start with Christian over here.
I'm Christian. I'm playing the role of Zeke, who is the welder. I'm not going to do a full voice, but Zeke, I picture him as kind of a laid-back individual, sort of like a McConaughey type, perhaps.
And why
I
don't
just
you
wanna
give
get
us
off
a
this
little bit
rock.
of information about you as a person? What do you do at Cryptic?
I'm a level designer at Cryptic on a game that I cannot say very much about right now, but
It's
I've
magic.
Been here about 6 months. Really like it here.
Sweet. Tiff?
I used to work on Stowe as a designer, and now I'm a producer on Magic. We're not talking about it, but that's fine. My character name is Miley. She's a wrecker. And
What does a record do?
a wrecker can find useful resources, like, wherever. So I'm just gonna wreck it and be like, salvage.
I'm gonna wreck it!
I mean, this planet is kind of like a wreckage, so
Yeah.
we'll see.
So you're
Yeah,
a
for those unfamiliar,
I have a buddy Ralph that does the
Ceti
same
Alpha
thing.
5
Yeah.
used to be a Class M world, but then things went very wrong, and now it is a inhospitable wasteland that only superhumans would be able to survive on.
And eels.
And Ceti eels.
Sand eels or something,
Yes.
yeah.
Nick,
Uh,
give a little information about yourself, and then
my name is Butch. I'm a hatchet, which means that I murder people for fun. Not really for fun. I murder people for the sake of the group.
You said it was for fun.
Yeah,
You know.
well, okay, for fun. Me, myself, I am Nick. I work at Cryptic. I have been on Stowe for a very long time and on various other projects before that. Yeah, stuff.
Hi, I'm Steven. I'm a software engineer on Neverwinter. I know very little about Star Trek, so I named my character Azuth after the god of wizards and Dungeons and Dragons. My character is the witch, and just weird, unexpected things happen around me. They can't really be explained by science, so
Just
it must be
like real
magic.
Just like real life.
yeah,
Sure.
yeah.
Hi, I'm Jeremy, tech producer, core tech producer here. I do a bunch of behind the scenes and support all these lovely folks. I am my character. I am
Khan! Oh, you're not
Khan.
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 Wait till they give us money
Oh,
for that.
sorry.
No, I thought they gave him $25
I
to
got-
get
Oh, okay.
25 times.
Hold on.
I got
Let
22
me-
more to
let me keep
go.
a tally on that.
Yeah, he's
I
at 3
got
now.
22 more to go.
Okay.
Keeping tally. Keeping tally. But I'm a rover. My character is Guyon Rosling, because I'm a driver. And the rover can drive and repair basically almost any vehicle. I'm pretty much the only way that you're going to get around safely on this wretched planet.
We have vehicles?
The rover
We
does.
shall see. We shall
Yeah.
see.
We also came in
With a
as
wheelbarrow,
well.
wasn't it?
I have a vehicle.
Don't we agree with a wheelbarrow?
And the rover, basically, I'm also a
be rough.
mechanic, and I also have a small weapon or two.
Alrighty. I am the illustrious rules arbiter here. I'm not really going to GM, although I will throw some curveballs in here and there just to keep things interesting. My name is John Hegner. I'm a content designer on Stowe. I've been at Cryptic for about 1.5 years now, and I am really, really enjoying it. We also had somebody mention
lying.
that there is probably a small queue following Azuth around. That's why they
That
use
seems
Pokemon.
likely. I like
If you're
that.
familiar with what Q is,
That's
it's
pl-
an
that's
omnipotent
clever.
being.
Space wizard, right?
Yes, basically.
Yeah, that's all I know, is that he's a space wizard.
Yeah.
There was also a
Sometimes
comment
you
about
fish.
what about riding around on giant desert eels? Well, that might be a thing. We'll see.
Ooh, like some Tremor style stuff.
Tremor style,
Love
maybe,
it.
maybe a little bit of like sand dune thing
That
going
would be
on. I
amazing.
don't
Sand
know.
dune?
Yeah, you know.
Sand dune. Okay.
Sand dune.
Sand dune.
Yes.
Yes, that's my favorite IP.
Yeah, of course.
IPA.
Alrighty. So, speaking of the rover and their vehicle, I believe that is something that you need to define so that the rest of the group has an idea of what equipment they are dealing with.
Oh, okay.
Oh, do we all have to
Wheelchair.
define our equipment?
It was
Yeah.
a wheelbarrow, wasn't it?
Most people have equipment of some sort,
Yeah.
except for the witch.
But do we have to like define all that ahead of time, or
Yeah.
okay?
So
Let
I mean,
people
I
know.
define my vehicle basically.
Yeah.
So yeah, I got. Am I basically answering that first question?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me,
Facebook.
let me look that up real quick. Is that a thing that you only define
It
once?
says, yeah, who do I need to kill to get my present vehicle?
Oh, no. You have a vehicle, so let's figure out what it is. It also has a mechanical flaw to it.
Oh, it
a
does
major
it?
mecanical fault and one
That's
ongoing
right,
problem
that's
that gives
right.
it some charm.
Yeah, right now I have a buzzer, I guess, and the buzzer currently is having problems just lifting off the ground. Is
What's
that
a buzzer?
Yeah, well, can you
What is a
tell us
buzzer?
about that?
You tell us.
Oh, what is a buzzer? A buzzer.
This is how a GM-less game works.
Yeah.
I just throw the question back at them and then make them answer.
Clever,
Well,
I like it.
I guess a buzzer is kind of like just different terminology for a buggy.
Okay.
We call it a buzzer on Ceti Alpha 5.
Does it go on tires, or does it have some sort of anti?
It has tires. It almost looks like a Mars rover mixed with like a
Okay.
ATV-ish look to
Yeah,
it.
and of course it's completely pieced together
Of
out
course.
of parts that were not designed to be.
Absolutely, totally
a
Mad
vehicle.
Max,
Helped
like
by
Waterworld.
these two.
Yeah,
Keep
Very
it running.
cool.
yeah.
Okay. What's the major mechanical problem with it?
We're having steering issues.
Okay.
Right now, it can only go straight.
Is it small enough that we can at least like lift it up and point it in a direction, or
With it holds 3 people. If you have all 3 people, you could lift up the front and
Okay.
Or maybe
you get
lean?
stuck in.
Can you
or-
like lean?
No, it just goes
it's
straight.
Pretty heavy. Right now, it just goes straight.
Okay. What's the minor problem with it that gives it some charm?
Swears
just-
constantly.
It's very rusted out. It looks like it was built. It looks like the race cars they built in Little Rascals. Like
Okay.
it's very pieced together.
Okay.
With whatever spare parts we could have found in the
Does it
cargo.
have like people scratch their name in it?
Yeah,
like,
there's
like
some-
a cast a little bit.
There's
like,
some. Yeah, it looks like
Butch
a-
was here.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah, no, there's some interesting marks on it.
How did you know I
and
couldn't
they,
name that?
and they all have their own story.
How do we know it was you?
Right,
Maybe
that's
somebody's
right.
setting
Could
you
be a
up.
Because
different
it was
Butch
written in
on
blood,
Ceti Alpha 5.
obviously.
All right, and then let's define your 2 questions. We'll make it easy rather than whipping around
Okay.
like crazy.
Like who did? What are my first?
Well, so you have
define.
you have
I
two
have
questions.
two questions
on
I
your
get to
character-
pick,
You have
right?
5 questions on your character sheet. The first one deals with just an NPC or an NPC that you make up because they might be dead. Who knows? The next 3 deal with one of the other player characters, and the last one is a secret. So
Which I
don't say
don't wanna
that
say
one
that
if you
one.
answered that one.
Right. All right. Well, I'll use my secret one, so I'm not going to tell you my secret.
Okay.
But
And then read the question. Actually, read the secret question out loud, but don't provide the answer.
who do you secretly avoid?
Okay.
Is it the smell? I'm sorry.
It's the
we
murder.
don't bathe, so.
It was the murder.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I thought we rolled in the dust like chinchillas.
We do.
Miley
It gets you so clean.
And
Have you seen
the
mine?
one
It's got
question, the one question I'll answer is who am I running from? Marla, because she scares me.
Okay. As a refresher,
Yeah,
Marla
that.
is Marla. It's McGivens.
McGivers,
McGivers.
I believe.
Marla
Nerd.
McGivers was a Federation officer, a lieutenant aboard the Enterprise when Khan and his augments were rescued from the Botany Bay. They were in cryosleep for about 250-ish years when the Enterprise found them, not realizing that they were thawing out a bunch of superhumans who had at one point, under Khan's rule, conquered most of the Earth in the late 1990s. 'cause,
Yep.
back
Everybody
then
remembers that.
was incomprehensibly far in the future. Khan, of course, made a play on trying to take over the Enterprise. This was foiled, if only because Marla...
Who was his foil?
Huh?
No,
His foil? His foil is... Scotty. Scotty's his foil. Anyway, Marla had fallen in love with Khan because she had a thing for really powerful old historical figures, and Khan fit right into that wheelhouse. She fell in love with him, but when Khan was basically about to kill Kirk, she betrayed him. So anyway, she was marooned on Ceti Alpha 5 along with Khan and all of his cronies.
She was given a choice.
Yeah, she was given the choice, either court-martial and her career in Starfleet ending, or to join Khan, who she loved, and all of the other augments being marooned on Ceti Alpha 5.
Which also sort of ended her Starfleet career.
Yes. Well, in
Sort of.
But she didn't have
in
to be
normal
court-martialed
canon,
over
she
it?
dies very shortly after. She has a Ceti eel inserted into one of the little baby Ceti eels, inserted into her head by one of Khan's rivals, which makes you very open to suggestion. And then she was told by that person to try to kill Khan, and instead of doing so, she killed herself, thus saving Khan's life.
But that's not how this story goes.
That's not how this story went. This story went totally differently, and Marla is still alive. Khan was alive until very recently, and now things are going to get shook up. But Marla, being a historian, probably educated a lot of you, because she knows a lot more about the 23rd century than anyone else on Ceti Alpha 5. All right, so you are trying to avoid Marla, and we'll figure out why that is as the drama unfolds. Stephen.
All right, well, Marla taught all of us, but she didn't teach me very well. I could do things that couldn't be explained by the science that she kept insisting was real. So I ignored her lessons and eventually just turned into open disobedience. She kicked me from the tribe before the fall. And in her old age, she's softened. She's let me back, but there's still some distrust there. The person, though, that triggers my headaches the most is Butch, the hatchet. The weight of the dead, the people that he's killed, hangs around him in an oppressive aura. He can't feel it, or maybe he's just too much of a psychopath to care. But I can feel it. It's a pressure that just pounds in my skull whenever he draws near.
Lovely. Butch.
Hi.
Howdy. What questions have you selected to answer?
So the first question here is, who among my tribe have I been forced to kill? And the clear answer to that is Khan. I mean,
Very
obviously.
dramatic. I approve.
You know, he's been here for 15 years. He hasn't done a whole lot for us. We're running low on supplies. We've never made it off the rock.
But have you
It
seen
just-
his chest?
I have, but you know, it looked really good at one point. It's kind of gotten flabby and
Harsh.
less sunburned over the years. So, and the second question is, who gives me orders to kill? And that's Jeremy, of course. So,
Very nice. All right. And Guyan.
I'm sorry,
Guyan gives you
Guyan.
orders to kill. Interesting. Okay. All right. We got some alliances and friendships starting to form here. Miley.
So I have a secret question, and the question is, who do you want to be most like? So I will not be answering
Oh,
that
thanks.
on screen.
Ooh.
Appreciate it.
Interesting.
But the one I will answer is, who tried to have you killed?
Mm.
That's Garrett, our resident drone. And the
Okay.
reason is, so I work hard. I go out there and I'm scrounging for scraps, tools, food, and that guy's kind of a pig. Like, he just eats a lot. So I forced him to eat last at the meals. I'm like, you can eat after everyone else has eaten because there's only so much eels to go around.
we appreciate that.
And so he kind of didn't like that and wanted Khan to, like, do something about it. And he's like, no, it's fair. You eat too much. And so that's when another thing that added to Garrett's, unhappiness with Khan, and he tried to overthrow Khan and have us turn into a democracy.
Yeah.
It's not the only thing, but it is one of many things.
Yeah, to fill in a little bit on that, Garrett is one of the NPCs. He is a drone. The expertise of the drone is that they are not an expert at anything. More likely, they are skilled at doing all the stuff nobody else wants to do or can do, so grunt work, basically. Garrett fell out of favor with Khan when he tried to overthrow him and have democratic elections, and maybe we shouldn't just blindly follow the superhuman space daddy. Khan was convinced not to just kill him outright, and instead showed mercy to him, and so Garrett has sort of been deflated ever since then, and just sticks to his drone duties.
And eats last.
And eats last. Alrighty. Last but not least, Zeke, let's answer your questions.
I'll talk first about welders start the game with one unique tool for repairs. That is my belt-fed industrial stapler. This thing can staple through solid steel.
Okay.
So it's good to have around. Who did I maim with my makeshift repairs? Now, this was not strictly my fault. You remember Devlin being stuck out in the sandstorm for 2 months?
Devlin does.
Yeah. He wanted me to fix up his buzzer, and I did. He did not tell me he was going to drive it into a sandstorm. It was not going to hold up to that. The engine did explode. There was some damage, but he's alive and he's back with us.
Damage not just to the buzzer, but to him as well.
Well, you'd have to ask him about that.
Well, I mean, just look at his leg.
Not all
dude.
damages are visible.
All right,
Well,
well,
it took
maim is
2
a
months for
strong
him to get
word.
back because his
Right.
leg.
Yeah. But I also have this other question. Who have you made a prosthetic for? So I think we're kind of even on that front.
Ah.
It's not a great leg, but it gets him around. So that's where I'm at.
but you use that giant stapler just
Yeah.
right into it. It was just
We don't have a whole lot of medical supplies here on
That's
Alpha
true.
Ceti Alpha 5, so we got to make do.
all right.
And sometimes you got to break a couple of eggs to make an omelet. You know what they say? Break a couple of eels to make an eaglet.
Gross.
I don't think we say that.
No, that's not even a saying on Ceti Alpha 5, as it turns out.
Hey, he's just as entitled to make up stuff as I am.
You know how
so
many different ways we've had to prepare eels since we've been here? We've
Yeah.
had eel fricassee, we've had eel on a stick, we've had eel gumbo.
Astrid likes
Impressive.
eel on a stick.
Getting kind of tired of eel, to be
Yeah.
quite honest.
It's amazing.
All right.
I'll try to find something else. I did forget that I have one unique item that I
Oh, yeah,
forgot to
we all
describe,
do. Oh, yes.
so I apologize. I have a shovel,
A shovel.
so I can use it to, break things apart.
Very
But
common.
also attached to it is a pretty sophisticated kind of like a spectrometer type of thing to try to help analyze what I'm finding.
Very
So
fancy
thank you for
shovel.
helping me put that together. I really appreciate
Very
it.
fancy shovel.
You have a spectrometer, you say?
Beep.
Well, it used to be part of a medical kit, but you modified it slightly. So I'm going to give you.
Wee, 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 wee.
Where'd I put it?
Two?
You
Sadly,
don't want
the
to know.
batteries are dead, but you can pretend.
I'm not good at pretending.
Well, you're playing just the right game.
Perfect.
Nick. All right, so
there's
I'm going to
a
go
thing
over
that
the
says on.
NPCs real quick. So we have already talked about a few of them. We've got Marla, who is the acolyte, which means that she keeps historical records and knows a lot about stuff that nobody else knows about. She is sadly the widow of Khan.
Boo.
And shield hold.
We've got Devlin, who's the marker. He was once lost for 2 months out in the wastes. The marker is basically a scout or a ranger. They know their way around terrain. They can spot danger from further away than anybody else. They're just really good at being outdoorsy. He now has a prosthetic leg thanks to being maimed by a miscommunication on
apologize
the
thoroughly.
capabilities of a buzzer. No hard feelings, right? All right, next we've got Sean, who is a biology expert. He has a uncomfortable love for Ceti eels in that he considers them more than just food. He likes raising them, he likes naming them, he spends too much time with them.
Can we just kind of talk about the eels real quick?
Sure.
Like, these are not water-dwelling eels.
yeah, they're not
Correct.
water dwellers.
Right.
They dwell in silt and sand.
How big
They're burrowing desert.
do they get?
Yeah, so
Right, because they start out as an itty
they
bitty
start out as
grows
like
in
a
your
little
ear
slug,
thing.
and then they burrow into your brain through the ear and feast on your brain. And during that period, you are very susceptible to suggestion, which Sean has graciously discovered as a thing. And then when, after you've died and they sort of hatch out of you, they become an insectoid that gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and you're not sure how big they can get. But relatively speaking, an adult gets about yay big. And they hunt in packs, and they can be dangerous if you are not prepared for them. So take care where you're sleeping, because they might just, implant one of their young in your brain.
Think of a beetle with giant pinchers, but
Yeah.
with the skin
Yeah.
of an armadillo.
They got big old pinchers.
And like, I think I don't know if it's the female or the male, but like the babies ride on in between their shells, and that's how they get the stuff.
Yeah,
they
they've
put
got
in your
overlapping
ears.
carapace plates, and if you peel them open, almost like a pine cone, they got their little babies.
That is just adorable.
It is.
Very cute.
That's what Sean says all the time. Ain't that precious?
They're like pets.
That's
for
why
sure.
Sean keeps Spot around all the time.
Yeah. Spot
pet.
is his pet eel. I'm
Yeah.
going to write that down. Spot is the pet eel. It's the one we see in the movie.
Hmm.
We have a $50 donation.
Oh
Oh
no.
gosh.
Is it for defining
We
the
would like
scene?
them riding sharks into battle.
Riding sharks into battle. Okay.
The Yields or us?
Them.
Them.
That's
They
a
who is
scene?
them.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have 21 more cons to go. If anyone's
All right, that's going to be what our first scene is, but we'll get to that very, very shortly. I'm going to go through the rest of the NPCs. We've got Garrett, who's the drone. He failed a coup against Khan, and he eats last. Last but not least, we've got Astrid, the soldier, who somehow came into possession of a Klingon disruptor.
Fell off the truck.
If you're going to put a Chekhov's gun on a table... At any rate, all right, so the player, or the viewers, have decided our first scene for us, so you guys are a little off the hook. You are riding another species that is suddenly on Ceti Alpha 5. They are sand sharks. You are riding them into battle. Against who?
That's a
Or what?
yeah.
And do we know that Khan has died while we are riding off into battle?
Khan is dead.
Okay.
We'll get to that after this battle. Maybe this is a flashback.
Oh.
Maybe this is Khan's last glorious ride. That's up to you guys. But we are outdoors, so let's get our environment gear on. Because the sandstorms on Ceti Alpha 5 are terrifying.
I'm terrified.
You don't have to cover your mouth, though. It makes it hard to hear. All right. So, let's roll a die, and that will determine who is technically the director of this scene, so you can set the scene up. So,
D6.
everybody roll a d6.
What did I get? I can't see anything.
Can't
You
see
got a
anything.
4.
I got a
4.
6.
I got this
There it is.
2.
symbol. Is that a 6?
Yes.
Yep.
Yep.
All right, so you two roll off.
No, I actually can't start the first scene. It says
Oh,
right.
okay. Well, then, in that case, it's Zeke. Set the scene for us. Get a nice camera frame.
I remember it like it was yesterday.
This is gonna make for
It
great
was
TV.
yesterday.
Khan was right here in the flesh, as alive as any of you or us. And we were trying to get to the Botany Bay, only about 10 clicks away from here. Unfortunately, mutant raiders blocked our way. I thought we were all together, thought we were all fighting for the tribe, but maybe some of us had other ideas. On that fateful afternoon, when we drew closer on our sand sharks to that raggedy band of mutants looking to bash our skulls in.
Jerks.
Hold
All
on.
right.
Yeehaw.
So, we've now flashed into that scene. You were riding on some sand sharks that you guys have, probably thanks to Sean, learned how to tame, or at the very least, control for a short term, against a cadre of mutant raiders who have taken the bait that you have laid out, we'll say. You guys have left some supplies out. They retreated from it in good order. And then have turned around on your sand sharks to attack. It's a brilliant strategy. Begin. This might be an appropriate point to shout something.
It's his fault. There are mutant raiders.
All right, you guys can take these off now if you want.
Oh, okay, good. 'Cause I can't see
You
anything.
can actually see each other.
But I felt for a moment like I was outside.
Yes, the wind and the sand in your faces. All right, so
So we're all in this scene, I assume? And
Yeah,
this all
everybody
the
is in this
NPCs
scene. You
as
guys
well?
are all riding together on your sand sharks.
Hi ho, Silver.
Yeah.
So I'm not very good at riding my sand shark. This is a new thing for me, and I'm just kind of like,
Okay.
I'm cruising around doing jumps off the dunes and riding around everywhere.
Okay.
I'm pretty in control.
Probably Beastie Boys playing.
Right, yes.
Yeah.
The Beastie Boys are playing. Things are going good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm having a good time.
I'm going to toss one end of a heavy cable over to the hatchet in the hopes
Yoink.
that we can clothesline some of these guys as we move past them.
Gallop,
Sharks.
gallop, 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 gallop.
Definitely. That sounds like a potentially risky maneuver that might yield huge results.
Okay.
Would you like to roll?
Yes. Is this an action or a fight or a?
This is a fight.
Okay.
Do I also roll as
dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
part of this?
Yeah.
We have to
Let's get you
coordinate.
both to roll. 'Cause this
I'm
is
gonna be
risky to
behind
you
them.
both.
This
Yeah.
is a joint operation here.
5. 8. Failure. Wait.
So,
Minimal failure.
Tiff, you get to define what that means.
did
So
you
there
roll?
is a action
8.
results.
I got a minimal success.
There's an action results page in front of you that
Yes, okay.
defines what a minimal failure does.
Stephen.
Yeah, what are we doing when it, like, because they were like connected with like a clothesline thing, right?
Yeah, they have a cable,
So-
a taut cable between
they're-
them.
They're like failure and success like should be like connected. So if we're both foiling it at the same time, how does that work?
Well, I succeeded on my side.
He succeeded
Yeah,
on
he
his
failed
side.
on his
He
side.
failed
so
on
like
his
depending
side.
on how he failed might depend on like change how you succeeded.
Correct.
Yeah, so
Yes,
maybe you
okay.
two want to
So-
coordinate on what it is.
As we're seeing, like, you know, like a couple of these mutant raiders, like as they kind of come towards us in a line, he does this like tossy throwy thing, and you're like, yeah, caught it.
One-handed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you're holding on to it with your very strong arm.
Carm?
Carm.
Strong
Arm.
Strong
Yes,
arm.
strong arm. Look at
Arm.
my strong arm.
Right? And you're like, oh, I think I got it. And before you can fully brace yourself, you run into the first mutant.
Oh.
And you didn't expect that much resistance, and you fall off your shark.
Okay.
But you managed
But
to
you managed to brace
hold on
yourself.
to yours.
Okay.
And
Tiff, also, you have the option here on minimal failure. If you want, you can spend 1 drama point to add trepidation to Zeke.
No, it's too early to screw him over.
Are these? I've got 3 dice here. 2 of them regular and 1 of them.
2 of them,
drama?
you always
Yes.
have 2 dice. Any extras are your drama points. So what's the
so
minimal
success is you hold on to the rope, and as it's like whipping away from his hand, it managed to wrap around one of them a little bit. So you don't get the full group, but one of them gets yanked off and is on the ground now, tied up a little bit.
Okay. Yeah, so you hit them with the cable, wraps the mutants up. One of them is fully entangled, the others are scattered around. Anybody else doing any actions?
So
in
as
this
I
scene?
oh,
And then I ride by, and my shark with his big giant jaws eats the one that he just wrapped up. I was
Okay.
charging forward towards the one that he wrapped up.
That seems like there's not a whole lot of risk. The guy's already down. You have a giant sand shark.
Wrapped in cable.
Yeah, there is a Wilhelm scream.
Yeah.
And then a cheer up front, like Astrid just screams, Khan! Like victoriously.
And as I'm
great.
charging,
Hey, save
eating
some
my,
for me
I
to
go,
save.
Khan!
Yep.
I'm at 17 now.
Okay.
Khan's still here. Why are you yelling his name all the time? It makes no sense.
Because
it's our rallying cry.
he's
Oh,
our
okay.
leader.
Yeah.
Sure.
That's what you shout when you're.
Because this
winning.
is Ceti Alpha 5!
So the
Miley the
raiders at this
Wrecker yells
point,
at you.
the
Save
raiders
some
at this
for me
point
to
have
wreck.
started like hurling javelins and
Javelins?
and
Javelins.
pieces of metal, like throwing stars, sort of things, trying to injure and or kill you guys. So a fight has embroiled. I need everyone to basically engage in a fight action to basically make it through this without any sort of bad stuff. But you two already rolled,
Good.
so that it's just the other 3 and their contribution.
So I have a connection with my shark. Just no idea how, but understand almost what it's thinking. So it is,
That seems like you would roll on the witch chart because
Yeah.
that's very improbable.
yeah.
So for the viewers, the witch, basically anytime something is improbable or impossible, they get to roll on a different chart that has a higher chance of success because weird stuff happens around them.
Okay, so rolling on that chart, I
Tiff
got
rolled
a 3.
Well, you roll 2 dice.
I'll roll
Oh,
that
I
too.
rolled 2 dice?
Yeah, and if you get doubles as a witch, you get to define the result instead of your foil. The witch is witchy.
I did not get doubles.
Okay, what'd you get?
Oh, I got 5.
Okay. So what is the result on your chart?
Failure, trepidation.
Failure and trepidation. You get to define that failure there. I will read out what that means. So the action fails. depending on the risks, this could be a nominal issue or something grave. So you guys are fighting, and there are javelins and things flying around.
Can I use the drama point to get another die on it, or does it while I'm rolling?
It is. Yeah, I'll let you roll afterwards. It keeps the drama points flowing.
Another 3.
Oh, but you got doubles if you choose both 3, so you get to define the result instead of your foil.
Okay.
That's something so fun for you.
But then you give him the dice.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
it's
but you
something
give
fun
him
for me
the-
on a.
Give him the drama point you spent.
I'll get a drama point. Yeah, but something good on a fail isn't going to be good for me. So, okay, 6 is press on. What is
Okay.
that?
So press on is the action neither fails or succeeds. The character may gain may roll again at a -1 to all the subsequent rolls for this action. So since this is only one scene instead of an extended action, that's not really going to take effect.
It's just
But
okay.
with the doubles,
So you,
nothing-
you have managed to survive, but also not contribute directly to the outcome of the
Yeah, I wasn't trying to fight anything. It's just me and my shark just going through the spheres perfectly
Yep.
somehow.
All right. So you need to do a fight action.
She did.
What'd
Oh
you get?
yes, I rolled a 10.
Ooh.
Miley rolled a 10.
What's that result?
Which is
for you?
which one is that? 10 is success.
Success!
So success
Praise con.
with interesting results is what that says. So you, as you are not only like navigating through all of this shrapnel coming towards you, you also manage to just snap things out
Oh,
of the
that's
air.
useful.
Yep,
Hey,
yep.
metal.
You're like, hey, pieces, parts we can use.
Yeah, some of those parts are like full-on useful engine parts and things that, like, they're heavy. That's
need an
probably
erase
why they're
cooker.
being thrown at you. But it's like, no, they have more use than just a blunt instrument. So I had a viewer ask, are drama points like XP? Not really. Drama points are sort of like inspiration in D&D. They give you a greater chance of succeeding, but they can also be used in various ways. You can bargain or bribe other players to give you more favorable results, or to maybe try to vote you up as leader. Like, they can be used for all sorts of things, but the key is that they always move around the table going to your left, to your foil. So it keeps the power differential between the players moving. Because success is not guaranteed in this game, in fact, failure is more likely to happen based on just how the die results are. Generally, if it's something that you feel important for your character to succeed at, you're going to want to use your drama points.
Or
So
if you
like
don't
in the
want
case of Stephen
trepidation.
here,
If you don't
yeah.
want trepidation.
So we had Azuth in the opening scene not do too good. That would have haunted him for a while with gaining trepidation. He decided to use a drama point to add an extra die, and then ended up with a little bit better of a result. And I think, did you already?
I did not roll yet.
Okay.
So I got to roll. I got a 5.
Oh dear.
5 on my action or fight chart.
Fight chart.
Failures. I can't pronounce that.
Stymied.
Stymied. Thank you.
Okay.
It means you get
So-
stalled in your action.
Christian, you can define that. So stymied is the action fails and the character is stuck in the action. So you're basically stuck in to the fight. You're in the thick of it. Surrounded by mutants. It's badass.
But driving really fast.
Going
Here's
real
the trick.
fast. I like going real fast on
Yeah.
the shark. We're having
The
fun.
duration of this is contingent on many factors. If the action is in combat, the character is wounded and unable to continue, so you're basically pinned down. You're struggling on the ground, rolling around in the dirt and everything. Something like that, as an example. You obviously get to define it. If the action is a repair, then the character is stuck working on it longer than necessary, etc., etc. So stymied is sort of you're bogged down in it, rather than being a swift execution of it. So what happens to him?
Guyon took a turn too fast, sprayed up a big wall of sand, which got all in his eyes and mouth and throat and temporarily blinded him. He was reaching around, surrounded by mutants. They were getting closer. And here comes our fearless leader, Khan, to the rescue.
God!
Khan should have had the upper hand
Wow.
on this day. The battle should have gone our way, but somehow something happened to Khan.
Oh dear.
In the middle of this battle, something happened to Khan? Wow, that's unfortunate.
All right. I think we're gonna
Yeah.
end that scene with it fading out of the flashback to all of you back at your cargo container sort of habitats, discussing that story.
Whoa. I almost died.
With the
That's some useful
foreshadowing of something that was, Khan's last ride. All right. Tiff, you are in charge of the next scene.
Are we done mourning or are we mourning now?
So you decide. You decide what the next.
okay.
Scene
Well,
is. It could
that
be-
was where the scene
It could be
faded
the
out.
immediate next scene. It could be further ahead.
Con was still alive when it faded out. Memory faded out.
I'm okay. Let's still be, like, this is his memorial service.
Okay.
Dear Daddy Con.
Who is in this scene? You have to be in it, and at least one other character. It could be one of the NPCs. It could be one of the other
I
players.
think everyone except Garrett, the drowned
Okay.
NPC, will be there.
All right.
Unless one of you don't want to be there, I'm giving you that option. But I think you should be there.
Thank you for giving me 4 voices.
I'm there, but
Do you
I'm
want to talk
off in
about
the
it?
distance.
Why is Garrett not there? Is
Yes.
it finally his turn to eat?
No,
Take off my shoes.
no, it's all right.
It's finally his turn to write up the drafts of how democracy is gonna work.
Okay.
I think. God knows, he's kind of a
He's
shady
just
character.
elsewhere.
Yeah.
He's outside the door. He wants to be here. We just didn't let him in.
Yeah, Garrett is outside.
He's standing guard against the mutants.
Or something.
We told him to go somewhere else. We told him that the funeral was happening in a different.
He is unloading
cargo
your
thing.
spoils of that victory as a drone off
Yeah.
does.
You gave him the wrong cargo
Loading
address.
him up into the cargo shed.
So everyone, what do we do now? Our beloved Khan, our leader, is dead. Our beloved Khan. Who says that? Our beloved leader is dead. What do
Marla
we
places
do?
a hand on your shoulder there to comfort you.
I step away from her, avoiding her hand contact.
She takes her hand back and sort of looks
Don't be rude.
very, very sad. Her eyes are red and cheeks are tear stained.
Well, I have a problem.
Very sad day.
I do not want to speak with her right now.
Should we continue to stay on this godforsaken planet? Should we try to fix up Botany Bay and get out of here somehow? What do we do?
I don't know.
There's
Why
no
don't we
one
just
leading
wait
them.
around for another planet to explode?
Maybe this planet will explode.
Maybe this one will explode. I don't know.
I
agree
think
with
we
that.
should fix up the Botany Bay. That seems like a reasonable thing. We're all pretty smart, and you have lots of stuff to work with. You're good with tools.
Now, those Federales, they did take our warp core, but maybe we don't need a warp core. Maybe we can.
I don't think
I
we
will
had a warp
interject,
core.
it didn't have a warp core.
Oh, no, and we certainly.
It was missing from the start, as it turns out.
Well, then that's a good call for us.
They did completely disable the engines.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is, at the very least, Ceti is a big system. There's other planets, and they can't all be godforsaken rocks like this one. We don't need to get out of the system. We just need to get off of this rock.
There's at least 4 others.
Back in the old days, Grandpappy used to talk about Earth and how they used to find rare minerals and things that were useful and inside the planet.
If only we had a tool that we could use to dig
like
things.
this shovel that I have.
Oh, interesting.
I imagine they probably use bigger shovels, but like helium, for example, right? Like that's used to power their old communication devices. What were they called? Cell phones? They dug for that. There are these rocks that were way under the top layer of dirt, and these rocks had all this helium in it. I wonder what we would find if we, dug a big hole. And maybe we would have enough materials to fix up the old ship, or find a new way to power it, or something. Or at the very least, recharge the Klingon disruptor, and we can define ourselves
It
better.
sounds like Miley is trying to suggest an extended action, which is trying to gather support and equipment to undertake this plan. Is
Zeke,
that
do
right?
you think you're able to
Okay, yes.
to make a larger shovel, a mechanical shovel of some sort, maybe?
It's possible. I think we should get to the Botany Bay and dismantle what's there and see if we can
To
use
make a
it
shovel.
Well, we could do that, or we could use it to make some sort of shuttlecraft that we used to get off the planet with. I don't know about this big hole plan.
Maybe we should see what the Botany Bay looks like first, then, because I'm assuming our characters haven't been there for a while.
Yeah, you guys took a bunch of cargo containers. When Ceti Alpha 6 exploded, the area where the Botany Bay was set down was in a nice place, but that quickly became very bad. So you guys abandoned that area, took the cargo containers 10 kilometers away to a more safe location, And yeah, the Botany Bay is now half buried in silt, basically, and Ceti eels are all over the place.
Miley is okay with changing the plan to visiting Botany Bay first to assess the situation.
Okay.
We may need to dig some stuff out of the ground to get out of here.
But we should see first.
I was going to find anything useful there. I definitely agree that we need to get off this planet, but all the technology there didn't seem to be helping. I found documentaries, though, of other ways to move from one place to another without the use of all these engines and whatever. Maybe we can make one of those work. I think I can do it.
What kind of...
Yeah, what
Marla
crazy
says,
method
you
is
mean
that?
like a transporter?
No, I believe the book referred to it as like a plane shift.
Like an airplane?
No.
Well, there are some historical
dimension
records
door.
in Federation databases discussing alternate dimensions.
Historical documents.
Let me guess, this is one of those things you can't really explain again, huh?
Yeah. The book had
We-
ideas about it.
We do not have a power source on this planet that is sufficient for such. Although, perhaps, as Miley said, we could find resources necessary. There may be dilithium deposits on Alpha Ceti 5.
There are plenty of parts of this planet I haven't been to. I've driven around a lot, but there's still a lot to explore.
Yeah. Devlin weighs in. He's like, I've been to one side of the Silt Sea to the Devil's Plateau on the other. I ain't seen no outcroppings of minerals or nothing like that. Don't mean it ain't there. I just ain't seen it.
Yeah, dig.
So there's a
Can you
50-50
dig it?
chance.
You wish.
It's 50-50, I mean.
Yeah.
Okay, so it sounds like we need to take a vote on whether we're digging a hole or going to the Botany Bay. Or...
No, Miley's temporarily agreed to go to Botany
Oh,
Bay
okay.
first.
Okay, so Botany Bay
So-
or...
She's willing to hold off on digging
Go ahead
the
and
hole.
give me an action roll. This is going to be, it's right up the alley for you as a wrecker, as you're looking for scavenging stuff. This is for the beginning of your extended action. What'd you get?
7.
Okay, what's the result on your wrecker chart?
Press on.
Press on. Okay, so the result of press on is the action meter fails or succeeds.
Your mom is blind.
Character may roll
not true.
again
She
and a
might be
-1 to
watching.
all subsequent rolls
Sorry,
for this
Nick's
action.
mom.
So, Nick,
Yes.
interpret the press on. as you
press
will.
on where nothing happens, right?
Nothing happens. Subsequent actions are at a penalty. So you define why that is. Maybe people just aren't.
Oh, in terms
invested into the
of what were we
plan.
rolling on?
To
Going
the
to
Botany
the
Bay!
Botany
I'd say
Bay.
Marla would be pretty upset considering we're at Khan's funeral right now and all talking about other things besides
Like
Khan.
GTFO, bye,
Like,
Dad.
let's get that out of here. I think.
Now look, you love Khan, I love Khan, we all love Khan. I wish Khan were here now, but he ain't.
If only somewhere were yelling
And-
his name more often.
He's not here.
Yeah,
Unless
That was nice,
there's some sort of reboot type situation, like an alternate reality, where he's like
Yeah, that's what I'm
British or
saying.
something. Unless some kind of nonsense like that goes down,
I'm pretty
we
sure
are never
alternate
gonna see
realities do
Khan again.
exist.
So we need to figure out a way off of this rock.
To another reality. I agree.
How do you propose we do that, though?
I can't explain it.
Well, unless it's in a straight line, I'm not going to get very far.
Yeah, I mean,
That is a good point. How do we get to the Botany Bay? Because it's, I believe, not a straight line.
yeah.
We're in a
That
desert. It seems like everything would be a straight
That
line.
seems like a perfect place to cut the scene. How do we get to the Botany Bay? Because it's not a straight line. Does that seem good?
I
Okay.
mean, isn't everything a straight line?
Yeah.
'Cause
If it's like a wasteland, I would think that there is a straight line between like all the points.
There could be
It's
mountains
rocky,
or
though. It's
guess.
very
canyons
rocky.
or whatever.
You roll over the
Nick, you are defining the next scene.
I guess the next scene is us.
It doesn't
Find-
necessarily have to be everybody. It could just be a personal scene between you and somebody else, or
Anything.
Scandalous.
Okay, I think that Miley and I forgot your character's name. Guyan. Guyan and I should go to the Botany Bay because he can get us there relatively quickly, and you will be able to scavenge for parts.
I recommend we bring. I don't know your name.
Zeke.
Zeke.
There's only 3 seats in the buzzer.
There are only 3
Oh,
seats in the
lame.
buzzer.
And so we can scavenge things and bring them back.
Okay.
And then Zeke can weld them together, maybe.
Split the party. It's always a good idea.
Yep.
Let's split up.
Hey!
What
Alright.
could possibly go wrong?
So, Guyan, you're going to
that's
drive
the
us
scene.
over. Yeah,
right.
it,
I recommend that you.
Yeah.
Well, you can't really steer it.
Belt.
Let's. I recommend that. Let's pick a direction which way we're headed, because that's the way we're going to be going the entire time for a while. Unless we're gonna.
Khan used to talk about this thing called math, and there was a part of it that you could use to set two different directions. You would go one direction for a bit, and then you'd turn and you'd go a different direction. I wonder if we could use that to get to the Botany Bay instead of just going in one straight line.
When you turn?
Yeah, I think you have to stop.
Oh, I don't know
The
if
only
this
way
Guyon's gonna like that.
The only way we're going to be able to turn the thing is we're going to have to get out of the vehicle and risk our lives with the eels, if there's any in the area, to pick up the front end of it and point it in the next direction.
Okay.
Maybe I should ask
And it is heavy, but it's going to take all three of us.
Astrid if I can borrow her Klingon disruptor for this
Ah,
trip.
good call.
She might not. It's not. It's very. She's very
So you could
touchy about that.
start
thing.
the scene off with that and then head out.
Okay.
Astrid, old buddy, we're gonna go out into the wasteland. Trying to be most girl to girl charming, you know, like, hey BFF. We're worried about some eels. You know, I got my shovel, but sometimes it's not enough.
I should go with you.
Oh, you know the
buzzer.
buzzer only has 3 seats.
That's true.
Can we
Well,
just
so what's the?
Can we just borrow your disruptor? I'll try my best not to use it, obviously. Oh,
I
maybe
don't know.
maybe I can tinker with the power source while I'm.
You're more likely to disassemble it for some other project.
Oh no
What
no
is
no!
it? You're looking to make a big power shovel, right?
Not
I
right
don't-
now. I'm just trying to make sure we stay alive till we get to Botany Bay and back.
So you want to borrow this?
Just as a contingency. Well, we don't want to use it, but if we had to, if 100 eels were out there, like.
Cut to us just shooting
Well,
tin cans off this.
who all's going?
Well, there's a.
Are you sure everybody's essential? Maybe I should go with you instead of somebody else.
Guyon's got to drive us, right? And,
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
And
We're gonna go fast,
Butch
better believe
Deadlift.
it.
That's his full name.
Yep.
He's Butch.
Yeah.
Butch is going to protect you from the eels. He's okay at smashing
So Butch
things.
is going with you?
I'm I'm gonna.
Why don't you let me take the disruptor then?
She feels safer giving it to Miley here because you're going.
Okay.
Just in case.
Oh, buddy.
We all.
this
remember.
should keep you safe from whatever might be out there.
Thank you, Astrida.
We all
We're
remember.
No,
in your car with you.
I'll never take it apart until you give me permission to.
We all remember the Great
Thank
Shark
you.
Dune Battle of Khan.
Of who?
All right.
Of Khan. I
Of
don't know.
who?
Are we car?
I'm sorry, what?
Khan. Sorry.
I like the echo you get
God.
here. Yeah.
Bouncing off
amazing.
the canyon walls.
Okay.
This is amazing
So
cave that we're in.
you have secured the disruptor. Now the rest of the plan is going. By the way, this is part of your extended plan, right? Your extended action, because you're going to scavenge parts to make your power shovel.
My power shovel.
Look for reasons.
Well, once you get to the ship, you can
Yeah, see what
do
they
your
have.
record
I
stuff.
might even be able to recharge this bad boy.
Might be.
We'll
might
see.
be. You're not the best at recharging things,
Yeah.
but
I can scavenge things that look like
Yes.
power things.
yes, you can. You did get a part in the battle that was thrown at you that might prove useful.
Yeah.
Okay.
Zeke and I will
So
figure it
you
out.
guys are driving out into the desert.
We really blow this pop stand?
That
Seatbelt.
sounds like it's going to require a rover action for you to navigate there with the vehicle and not get everyone killed.
Yeah. Oh, dude. Oh.
Oh,
no.
Guys on the floor.
Guys
Critical failure!
It's a 4.
Nah.
It's a 4
All right,
plus a 1
if
and
it
5.
lands on the floor and you're going to count it, then every time it lands on the floor, you got to count it.
Of course.
Okay.
Of course.
So you got a 5 total.
5 total.
That seems
we're all gonna
bad.
die.
What's
It's
the
gonna be a
result
long
on
How's
the
it
day.
here?
rover chart for a 5?
General action chart or rover? A rover.
Rover.
Minimum failure. Minimal failure.
Do you want to use a drama point?
Yeah, we just started things off. I don't want to go off on a bad note, so I like to spend a
Alright.
drama point, and so I roll it. I got a 4, so I can use 2 4s.
2 4s. So what's that result?
8 is going to be minimal success.
All right. And Christian, please define the minimal success for Gaian.
Seatbelt on.
Guy and the group are headed in a angled path. They get to the crux of the angle. Everybody hops out, turns the buzzer, They keep going. Turns out they didn't turn it quite far enough, so they're off by about, well, actually, the farther they get, the more off they're getting. But they are moving in the direction of the Botany Bay, so it's just going to take a little bit longer than they thought.
It would behoove me to remind you that on a minimal success, which is what you got, right, that you can choose to spend a drama point, perhaps even the one that you were just given, to make trepidation.
Has it done?
So the
one
reason
draw
you
point
might want to do
equals-
this is because you want their plan to fail, because the idea of making a power shuttle instead of something else.
Okay.
That's up to you, though. I'm just throwing ideas out there.
Yeah, so then this goes, so then would I pass that point back to him?
No, you would pass it to your foil.
Okay. Yeah, this whole angle thing just isn't quite working out.
Yeah, you
What are we
guys are judging the time. You should be at the Botany Bay by now. You don't see it.
Hey, let's stop and take a look around.
Oh wait, there
Oh,
it is, way off to
Yeah,
the
we
left.
can't stop. They'll be attacked by Ceti eels, right?
Yep, we gotta make this quick though. It's a
Yeah.
possibility. We gotta make sure we're in a safe area. Usually, my tactic is I always like to do a couple donuts to dig up the dirt a little bit around me, just
Except
to
you
make
can't
sure.
turn.
Oh, that's right. We can't turn.
Yeah,
You're
how are you
correct.
doing donuts?
That's what I would normally do if I could turn.
Also,
but I
what's
can't
a
do
donut?
That. A donut is when I take that buzzer and go on big fast circles and it goes real fast.
It looks kind of like an eel eating its tail.
So you guys have a situation here. You guys are near the Botany Bay, but it's probably a good 400 meters off to your left. It's
So we
barely
hoof it?
visible through the sandstorm.
Well, I
and
got
you
this
can't
going
turn.
on
You can't
disruptor.
stop the buggy to turn it. You can slow down enough for them to like get off on foot, and usually running, like the Ceti eels have a hard time keeping up. But any prolonged stoppage is dangerous.
Pick it up and turn while we run?
You could try that. That sounds like it would be risky, therefore an action.
That sounds like fun. Let's do that.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do that.
This is just going to be general action for both of you.
For all three of us, or all?
Now you're.
No, you're still driving.
I'm
We're
gonna
picking
use
it
this
up
point I was
as
just given.
we're superhuman, so we're running alongside it
Yeah.
and picking it up and turning
Yeah,
it.
mind you, Khan could pick up Chekhov
Right.
in,
Yeah.
in an environment suit with one arm.
Oh, right.
Ooh.
I mean, you might have a Flintstone buggy for all we know.
Right.
Drama? Should we drama?
So,
By the way, Cryptic Archon says, best investment ever.
God!
I rolled a 4. I used a drama point. So now I have a 7. And
Seven.
I passed this drama point on.
I got 12
Okay.
more. To go.
And I can't use that immediately because
Correct.
okay. But I rolled a 6, which would be a minimal failure. So I'm going to use a drama point as well. And now I have a 10,
Okay.
which is better.
So, Tiff, what was your result? A 7?
7,
So-
which is also minimal failure.
All right. And 10 is...
10 is a minimal success.
Okay.
The bargain.
Okay, so I will read out what that does. So bargain is the action changes to a full success if the player negotiates a deal with their foil.
Is that why you
In this
just
case,
threw this at
Steven.
me?
No, that was the
The point he used.
point I just used
Yeah.
to get my 10,
Okay.
even to get that good.
The player must give up something in order to succeed. This can be anything from drama points to the player's next scene as a director to support for leadership, etc.
What about money for extra life?
Sure, it could be anything.
Could be.
What do you want, Steven?
Well, first off, do you want to go from minimal success to success?
You can also just
Oh, what's the difference? Minimal success is going to be what? Let's see.
The
Reading,
action
reading.
succeeds, though barely.
No, I
foil
think that's
could
more fun.
choose-
Let's do that. Minimal success
Okay.
With minimum failure.
with minimal failure. Yes.
Team minimal.
Okay, so Nick, define how she
Oh.
fails.
Oh,
As I'm running, I'm picking up and
And you
trying
can
to
choose
turn
to use
it.
a drama point to add trepidation if
I-
you want.
even the one that she just gave me.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
You probably don't want to do that.
I probably
since
don't want to do
you're
that since I'm
working
involved.
Together.
Yes, let's not do that. I think that you you're picking this up and you're trying to run alongside, and then you notice that your shoelace is untied, and oh gosh, and you step on it, and then you tumble.
Okay, so she has tumbled into the
That's
silt.
definitely something that would happen in real life as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah. This is
Always
based,
tie your
this is
shoelaces,
based on you.
kids.
So it's a minimal failure. I don't know, but
Okay, you
does
just,
that
you just you stumble a little bit.
No, I was gonna say, does that sound like she trips, falls, and then the camera sees Ceti eels coming toward her, or is that
Eat
more
some
like a
sand.
I think minimally no. I think
Sure.
a maximal failure
tripped
would have
and
been
fallen.
falling into a
And I
nest
ate some
of
sand.
eels.
Okay.
I saw that she was tripping, and I slowed down a little bit.
Okay.
Thank you.
Just a little bit.
I can go straight and backwards, but I can't.
You really don't want to.
But I
stop
run
on
like
the
an
set.
augment, you know.
I might not be able to turn.
So then, Steven, define the minimal success.
Right. They're just trying to like turn.
They're trying to turn the buggy toward the botany bay.
Okay.
While running.
While running. Yeah. Okay.
After
so,
I tripped on my shoelaces.
So you're. If she hadn't messed up, you would have been fine. You would have turned it exactly how you wanted. It's slightly off course after not as much of the weight was pulled on her side as you were expecting, but your side went fine. Like you got yours moved the way you wanted it to.
So we're
Alright.
still off by a few degrees, therefore
A little bit.
few hundred meters or whatever.
Well, we were
Less than
400 meters off, and so
Yeah.
if we're if we're 20 meters off, then we can.
You're
walk
probably
down
still
the
going to
road.
end
So
up
like
finding
Costco parking lot size
Yeah.
distance.
Yeah.
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 We really gotta get this turning fixed.
That might be an extended action you want to take.
Yeah.
You could start it now. Like,
Well, I'll wait till we reach Botany Bay, 'cause
Sure.
there's nothing around us at the moment.
do you guys want to end the scene when you get to Botany Bay?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Do we
Yeah,
make
so
it to Botany
Yeah,
Bay?
you guys roll up.
Botany Bay.
You gun it after everybody gets on board.
We're a little off course, like you said, but we're gonna walk the rest of the way.
Or we're able to turn it again at that point, and we can get it into the shuttle bay or someplace that's a little more protected for you to work on it.
Yeah, so you,
Show.
you roll it up into one of the empty cargo clamps, which is sort of like a shell that they would slot the cargo bay into that you guys had removed at one point. You slot it into there, metal flooring, no Ceti eels going to pop out of there, although they can climb in. But at least then you can see them instead of them, suddenly out of the sand. a Ceti
Or
eel.
stuck underneath the wheel wells.
That's
I'll
true.
tell you a story about that sometime.
All right.
How do you think
All right,
the
so we're
steering
gonna
broke?
we'll end the scene there. Steven,
Okay.
your crew,
Yeah, they're probably,
these
like,
three
not-
are out,
Yeah.
doing their thing. What are you up to?
So my scene will be between the two of us and then an NPC that no one else knows about and only I can hear. It was talked about in chat.
Perfect.
Okay. You build things, right?
I do,
Hold on.
but I don't know anything about all these planes and dimensions that you're talking about. It sounds kind of impractical.
I know someone that does though. I think if we get a big enough power source, we might be able to and detonate it in the right way with not the control. Might be able to rope open a hole between our plane and the next. Be able to get out of here somewhere better, a better reality.
That
But I'll need your help.
Then we could be together.
If there's a giant detonation,
What is
we'll
that?
all be together.
The voice only you can.
Yes.
Okay.
Solving everything with murder. I'm down for this. I'm okay with this. Let's solve it with murder.
I think I was thinking of a different voice, but
Oh, sure.
yeah,
Who are you talking to? Are you all right?
I'm fine.
This is not filling me with a lot of confidence in your plan. So what power source are you talking about?
I don't know yet. We'll need to find something strong enough.
How do you suppose we should do that?
There might be something. They might bring something back from the Botany Bay. I think they're also looking for something. We just have to use it differently than they were expecting.
Maybe you think Marla might know something about.
She might. I
In
don't
the
really
history of
trust her
this
judgment
place?
on most things.
Well, I don't want to wait for them to get back.
Yeah.
Let's
We-
look through the archives to see if we can find any information
Yeah.
about power sources.
Makes sense. I think you'll know what would work when we find it. Just large power source that maybe explodes in a certain way.
So the Botany
Used
Bay,
incorrectly.
the Botany Bay cargo pods that you guys use as habitats, they have a decent selection of books, fiction and nonfiction. There's physics books and science books and things. You guys have been over them because you're all brilliant, super genius augments.
You're not too bad yourself.
Anything sound promising as far as a sort of a power source that we could rig up to do whatever Azoth
I
here
will
is trying to
just
say we
magically
should
pick
do?
up a book that happens to talk about exactly the type of thing that we need. I
Okay.
did the first book I picked, the first page I
I
turned
don't think
to.
that requires an action. That seems
Oh.
just
Normally witchy.
yeah, like
Okay.
Well, actually.
What about this?
No. Do a witch roll, because it could be terrible.
Book
6.
picks up is the Vampire Diaries.
So press on.
Press on. So you pick up a book. It's going to take some time. Probably. Well, actually, you would get to define. But press on is neither failure or success. You can try again at -1 on subsequent actions.
You were attempting to pick up a book?
I'm trying to find a book that talks about the technology that I will need to rip
So
a
this-
hole through time and space.
This sounds like it would be an extended action. You're doing some research and stuff. So go ahead and note down that you're doing an extended action that is researching power sources in the library or the
What do I
archive.
just?
Somewhere. Similarly, Miley, you were doing an extended action to scrap a bunch of stuff out of the botany bay that might be able to build a huge excavator. And
I was
you were
fixing-
going to start, but you haven't yet.
Right.
That could change
Right.
depending on how the scenes go.
Maybe.
So you have the voice in your head. Did you want me to play that, or are you just sort of acting off of that in your own head canon?
I'll show you. For now, I guess we'll keep it silent.
Okay.
It's a thing that they said in chat though,
Oh, they
a long
did.
time ago.
Oh. I don't
How do you
remember.
see chat?
No, they
No.
called it out.
Oh, okay.
Which powers?
Oh, gotcha.
Which powers?
Gotcha.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So if you want to play that, you can, because I don't know anything about it.
Oh, sure. Trying to summon up my John Delancey voice. I don't know if I can do it. Do you see this voice?
I think I hear him in my head.
Okay. All right. Well, let me know when you see him, because I have a great visual description that I can give. So, you two are still discussing power sources. You've started rooting through. You can still take an immediate action to try to convince him, or you can take an immediate action to try to convince him of something.
Well, listen, I've got another idea. Maybe we don't need to build anything. The thing about those federales, they're soft. They don't want to leave us to die. We call them in here. We
They
tell
did
them
say
there's
they were
been an
going.
emergency.
According to Khan, they said they were going to check in on you guys, but they were supposed to check in a long time ago.
Yeah, they've abandoned us.
If we could rig up some kind of beacon with which to contact the Federation, get them down here, we use the eels, mess with their heads.
I just want to show you guys the fan art of you guys riding on Santa.
Yay!
Marvelous.
That is
Who did
awesome.
that?
1 second, let me get the mouse plugged back in.
Is it our buddy Duncan?
Might be.
That's gonna be a new screensaver for me at work.
Yeah.
What was that? That was Duncan.
Nice.
Thank you so much. That's awesome.
I keep forgetting there are people out there.
Duncan, Idaho!
Duncan, Idaho!
Duncan!
All right.
I got 11 more cons.
You're doing great. You're doing great.
You're past
Remember,
the halfway
you can shout
mark.
other names out too.
We have
Right.
I think it was for Khan,
we have
wasn't it?
It was
cough
Con.
drops in the kitchen.
Oh, yeah.
You mean you have
Condra. I don't know. Does that
So
count?
you
I'm
said
just
you-
saying,
Nah, we'll
work
count it.
smarter, not harder. We don't need to build a ship if we can get the Federation to just bring us one, and then we'll take it and get on it and get out of here.
Let me ask my friend what he thinks about that.
Do you want me to answer?
Yeah.
He says,
Oh, this is your personal cue, right?
Yeah.
I remember now.
what does he say?
We will call him Minikyu.
Humanity is an infantile species. You're superior in every way. You don't need to rely upon humans for anything.
That's what I was thinking too. I don't
What's
thi-
what you were thinking too? This conversation's not making a whole lot of sense.
We can't trust the humans. They're weak. They're inferior to us.
I'm with you so far.
Bringing them here isn't going to solve anything. We should do this on our own.
Well, tell you what. You figure out some way to punch a hole in space-time or whatever it is you're talking about, you got my vote.
Working on it.
All right. Does that sound like a good end to the scene? All right. That was your scene, right? Yeah. So, Guyan,
Yes.
what's the scene that you are presenting us?
My scene that I'm presenting is going to be back to us three. We're just escaped near eel death, trying to turn this damn buzzer. But we are just approached, walking up onto the
Botany Bay.
The Botany Bay. Thank you. The BB, the SSBB.
The SSBB? Alright, so what's the scene? You guys are there. What's the plan?
Scene is we're obviously not on track, but we're about 10-15 meters away from the walking distance, but we're coming up. We come up real fast.
Okay.
Yeah.
We come up real fast, and I slammed on the brakes and come to a sliding stop. There's dust everywhere, and people are coughing, kind of mad at me for driving too fast.
You slide it up into the cargo bay.
Yeah. Right, right into the cargo bay, kind of like a crazy person. Just right, super fast. Slammed on the brakes last
Oh yeah,
night.
we forgot to do this for the scene.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
fine.
So once we land, Miley breaks out the Klingon instructor and starts doing one of these.
I will also pull out my weapon. I have
What is your hatchet weapon?
the hatchet. I have a crude but effective weapon, and my weapon is large stalagmite that I picked up in one of the caves that we have. It's kind of like a stucco pattern, and it's a little bit more bulbous down at the bottom, and then kind of just this big shape. I just use that, and I can bludgeon things.
Obviously, in the show, it would just be a giant piece of styrofoam.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what show you're talking about, but yeah, it could be that Kirk might have held something similar at one point.
Okay. Yeah.
I have a giant tool as well. I have a giant wrench that was passed down from my grandpappy down to his dad, down to his dad, down to me. But apparently it's from Earth, but it helps me fix things with
I like
the
that
car
we're
all
going
the
all
time.
thick with these.
But I can
His
also
weapon
use it
sounds
as a
better
weapon.
than your weapon.
Well,
Okay. You got a big old multi-wrench.
Yes.
Okay. All right, you guys are on the Botany Bay. What's the plan? Who's doing what?
Earth.
I'm ready to murder things that come towards
I'm
us.
acting
but
like I'm ready to murder things that's ready to come towards us too.
And I'm always weary around because especially after the shark experience, it was you're gonna be on alert. We haven't been back to the Botany Bay in a while, so.
So we're looking around.
We're looking around for eels, see if there's anyone that is.
It's up to you. Are there eels?
I mean, we can go. Let's walk in and check out the inside. Make sure that.
Oh God, there's eels!
There's no eels that broke inside or nesting inside, or I guess right, and start looking for.
We're looking for parts.
Why are we here?
Why did Khan and gang leave Botany Bay? It seems like a nice big
No, it's half buried in silt now and surrounded by Ceti eels, so it's just
Gotta find
it's
a
not
way
that
in.
safe.
growth. All right.
And look for parts. So, where's the entrance to Botany Bay?
Well, we're
Do we
in
have
one
to
of the.
dig for it?
Do we have to dig for it, or can we?
No, I mean it's part of it is submerged. Think of like the Titanic going down, right? Part of it is submerged in silt or whatever, but then the other end is
find
sticking
a
out.
hole or an entrance. Where are you gonna find your best material? Where's the best options to find good materials?
Oh, as soon as you ask, I kind of snap back to reality. I'm like, yes, that's right. Let's see. We should try to head towards the engine room. Oh, but you know what? Like maybe this anywhere is fine. Let's just go.
Okay.
So I start like,
So we're going down or going up hallways because it's all kind of slanty.
yeah. Let's just go into this first door and see what's in it.
Okay.
It's eels.
It's just floor-to-ceiling eels.
That's the eel closet. What are you doing in the eel
No, I like
closet?
that. I like that. We opened the first door, and it's kind of like one of those things where like you stumble upon a monster that wasn't expecting you, or you weren't expecting it, and you kind of just both looking at each other.
The Ceti eels
Yeah.
and then it hits the door thing. No.
Yes. Yeah. No.
I just say, let's go into the first door we come across.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so we open the door up, and then we walk in, and then we come across a couple mid-sized eels.
Sure. Are they a threat?
They don't see us yet.
Okay.
Suppressing fire!
Smash!
Okay. So I will have you roll a combat action if you think that this is a threat, or is it just sort of flavoring for?
Should we go into the room? Is there anything interesting we want in there?
There's
or-
that big piece of machinery at the back end. It
Depends
looks
what
like
room
it-
it is.
Yeah, we should go check out the big piece of machinery. Let's go in. Let's just kill these things because obviously we know how dangerous they are. Tom just died.
You're directing the scene, so you tell me if the Ceti eel, or you tell them if the Ceti eels are a threat, or if it's.
I think they're in the way. We should exile them, so we're gonna kill them.
Smash.
So we're gonna go and attack them. So
Okay. And by
we're
threat,
gonna
I
send-
mean, is this something that
we're gonna
we
send
want
Hatchet
them
in
to roll attack?
because Hatchet's been edgy. So we're just gonna ask
Is he
Hatchet to
gonna-
send him in.
If he
Is
doesn't
he
kill
gonna have
something
to
now, he's
roll-
going to kill you.
Does he have to roll an action to do that, or is
I
it
would say he
something-
rolls an action. Yeah.
Okay, so
Because he's gonna take both of them on for us.
okay.
Yeah.
So you do murder
Smash, smash.
for the sake of the tribe, though. It's not quite fighting.
Yeah, because Astrid.
Yeah,
more
So
of
I
a
think
soldier.
you're gonna roll on your fight chart. Well, you're gonna roll on your fight chart because this isn't exactly murdering for the tribe.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay. Fighting for the tribe. It's a 9, which is a minimal
Sweet.
success and a bargain.
Are you going to do the bargain, or are you just going to go with minimal success?
Oh, I thought it was. Oh, it's either or.
Yeah.
Oh.
You can do the minimal success, but if the bargain is present, then you can try to get it to a rousing success via.
Ah, I understand.
Like, take my spleen, make it super success.
And remember, you can bargain with anything from drama points to promises of doing things.
I don't have any good ideas of things I can do, so no, I'll just take the minimal success. I think that's okay.
Okay.
We're not doing anything critical.
And you're trying to bash like 2 eels.
Yeah.
Yeah. So first one just splat, gone. The other one.
Well, be careful of the machinery.
The other one is definitely injured. It's incapacitated, but not quite dead. You move on anyway. It's not going to hurt you for now, but you might need to be careful about it in the future.
I just pissed it off.
Like
You knocked it
stunned
unconscious, basically.
You didn't double splat it.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Nice. I like that.
Uncareful.
Building up some tension. All right. So Butch splatters those. Now what happens?
So that we walk behind Butch and I stomp out the last bug he knocked out with my foot, since it's about dead. And then we were walking up to check out the machinery in the back that they were kind of blocking. Come to find out, it's like a control panel or like a mission control area, not really an engine room, but it looks like we're in the right area, general area, and somewhere near the mission, somewhere near the engine room.
Well, so what if I took a moment and be like, do you guys want me to stop and just start scavenging this, or do you want to?
Yeah, I would say. Is there anything here that you see useful?
Yeah, of course.
Does anyone know what this thing is?
I would strip this whole room. It's all useful. And these eels, we can eat them.
You can eat them.
And we're going.
So is stripping the Botany Bay an extended action, or are you just going to grab something real quick and get moving?
It depends on what
You can do both.
the team
by
wants
the
to
way.
do. If they want to keep moving, I would just grab a few things real quick. If they
We're here, in theory, we are here to get parts to make a shuttle or something, right? So
that's going to take a while.
Shovel, not
So
shovel.
that sounds like part 2 of your extended plan.
Yeah.
Okay.
wait, now I'm confused though. I thought
Well, it's here,
I thought
it's
we
here.
gave up on the hole and we were gonna build a shuttle or some
You
way
guys
to
are
get
there.
off.
I'm not there.
No, I
So,
know, but I'm trying to remember.
Miley bought into Zeke's plan of
Right.
like, let's see what's at Botany Bay, maybe see what we can reuse there so that we can get off this planet.
Okay, so we're just looking for anything that looks useful for that.
Yeah. I'm still hoping in my Wrecker Heart of Hearts that we might not have enough of something when we still need to like look for more
I see.
natural resources. And
Okay.
I get to dig a hole.
Okay.
All right, so go ahead and do an extended wrecker action. You are at -1 because remember you got what was it? Press on with the beginning of your plan because it wasn't well formulated.
Okay.
So
8. So 8, is that a general you said?
no, it's your wrecker action. It is at -1 though.
Press on.
So 8 goes to
To
7,
seven, and 6
which
to 7 is press on.
Okay, so
Press on.
your plan is still unfolding, but no major successes, no major failures. You're going to still be at that -1.
It doesn't stack.
Does it? Yes.
I would assume not, but
Character may roll again.
I mean, it is post-apocalyptic.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it stacks. Yeah.
okay.
So you're.
I want
minus
to check
2
out
now.
this machinery back here. If there's anything I can find useful to fix the steering on the damn
Sure.
buzzer.
Are you gonna just a quick fix, which would be an action, or an beginning of an extended action to repair the?
It's the
buzzer?
beginning of an extended action. I'm looking for parts to help
Sure.
fix the car.
Go ahead and give me a rover roll.
Got 7,
Okay.
and 7 on a roll is action, fight, or general.
It's on your rover. There should be a rover.
There's
chart.
2. I have rover action, rover fight.
Oh, rover action.
Rover action 7 is press on.
Okay.
Or both press on.
So you're gathering. Yeah, you see now the carcass. The average, you're
Right.
not really making progress.
Right,
So the drama points help with that, or just learn to roll good. So yeah, but you get to define what the press on is and why he's at a -1 on subsequent rolls.
He diagnoses the steering issue as some bad wiring, and he's found some possible replacement wiring, but the right kind, there's just not enough of it here. He needs to bust open a few more things. He might be able to put a strand together and
Put
make
more
it
time
happen.
into it.
Yeah.
All right. So you guys have killed some Ceti eels. You guys have begun extended actions. It's your scene, so you need to at least do an action now.
An action. All right.
You can also do an action, Tiff.
I'm going to. I noticed that as we're still in this one room, there's like what looks like a door into the next room next to it that's locked, or it could be a closet. Not really sure, but I want to try to open it.
Try to get it open.
Try to get it open.
That'd be a general action.
General action, or which of 3 of us would be the best to try to open this door? You think?
Wrecker, probably.
Probably the wrecker.
I have a shovel.
You have a
And on
shovel?
the back end of
You
the
know
shovel
how to
is where it's
disassemble. You,
made, so,
you
yeah.
could field strip his buzzer in like 5 minutes.
You could, yeah.
I would never
You want
do
to try to
that,
open this door?
Sure. Should that be my wrecker action then?
Yeah.
7. I press on opening the door. I'm like, hold on, give me a minute. Tink,
Yeah, you're
tink,
taking
tink,
your sweet
tink,
time.
tink.
We have a $1 donation for Azrith to yell his own name.
For me to do it?
Yeah, at a dramatically appropriate time.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna yell his
So
name.
yeah, you're working on that door. It's just not
Yeah.
not coming along very well.
My arms are tired from lifting the,
You can-
buzzer, so I'm just kind of like, eh.
You can try to assist or
Right. I'd say let's all try to kick a gun on 3.
Oh, all right.
Okay.
All right, ready? 1, 2,
3.
3.
General action.
Are we all rolling or?
No, just
Okay.
I got 9 on action, success,
all right.
and the bust through the door. We made it
Bam!
through.
Woo! I'm
Door
gonna use
opens
this door.
and scene.
And scene.
All right.
Can I spend a drama point?
To do what?
When they open the door, there's someone on the other side.
Sure.
Oh,
Perfect. Who's on the other side, or do you want to wait?
come on.
They have a weapon. Let's not say who they are yet.
Okay. Does the camera just see a weapon? Like, what's the weapon?
A Federation issued blaster,
Laser.
laser.
Flazer.
Yes.
Brand new Flazer.
All right.
Pew, 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 pew,
There's a phaser in play.
Flazer.
That's not the sound.
You put a Chekhov's phaser
Or like a.
on the table,
Yeah.
it's gonna get used.
Looks like a TV remote from Earth.
A what?
TV remote.
Never
My
heard of it.
grandpappy used to tell me.
All right. So you get to define the next scene.
Okay. Let's say it's Azuth the Witch, me, and Sean the biologist, and we have found in the book a way to use eel energy
Okay.
from their biologies if we can get Sean's help.
It's like 50
It makes sense,
BTUs
though.
of body heat and a special form of fusion.
Well,
Yeah.
I think it's
In a
their
blender.
shit.
He's
Their
gonna
shit
ride
is
their
just
Krebs
extremely
cycle.
combustible.
Interesting.
Their chemical makeup is.
Do I have the 2 things in the square
surprising.
drawer when I use it that way? Because that'll happen a lot now.
Wait, what now?
If I say Ceti eel shed, is that swear jar or can we just keep saying that?
It sounds like swear jar. That's a
Yeah,
swear.
it sounds like swear jar.
It's not being used in the other way.
It's
But
the
you could,
S
but you
word.
could call it poop and
call
get
poop.
and be okay with it.
For
Stuff.
streaming
Ceti
purposes.
eel stuff.
But we appreciate the donation.
I'm out of ones, so that's as much as it's getting.
Yeah, so Sean is saying, yes, it very much seems that the excrement from the Ceti eels is quite combustible. It is also high in nitrates, which would allow us to use it as farming fertilizer.
Well, I think I can make this stuff explode. Do you know where does that get us? You tell me how to set it up so that we can rip your little door open in the
What sort of
space-time
door is he
continuum.
talking about?
A door to another world, to another reality, a better reality.
Yeah, I'm not so sure about it either. But
Just trust me on this. Someone very knowledgeable has explained it to me.
I have difficulty trusting you, my friend, but Zuth has had success where others have failed in the past.
that's what I'm saying. Just because we can't see it or make sense of it doesn't mean it's not true.
I'll tell you what, I can provide you with a couple kilograms of the Ceti eel excrement, but I am harvesting it in order to try to supplement our agrarian hydroponics.
Oh, I'm gonna be ill. Are you saying you've been cooking eel dung?
No.
No, I've been sowing it into the terrible sand and soil to try to make the arable land for us.
Good work.
Seems like
I like that idea.
Fertilizer.
But the Ceti eels are plentiful enough. I suppose a couple kilograms of their excrement could be sacrificed for an experiment.
Do you know how we could make the excrement more volatile? Is there a special way to feed
It
them?
seems like a biology role for him. Looking at the expert real quick.
Ooh. Go, Sean, go.
All right,
I also
well,
like his
actually,
accent.
he has a major tool related to
combination.
his expertise.
Russian, Indian, something.
Don't try to place my accent.
Future. It's future. Future. human.
Future accent. I'm sorry.
Future
Ceti
human.
Alphen.
Yeah.
Yes.
They came up with their own accent. They're the
Correct.
only ones there, and they just came up with their own accent.
It's all the dust in the air.
Does this normally have a laser in it?
No, it
All
just
right.
makes
So he
sense.
pulls out his tricorder because he has a major tool,
I think.
and he starts analyzing it.
Major tool.
He's a major tool?
You're a major tool.
Your face is a major
Alright.
tool.
Your mom's face is a
Roll.
major tool.
Ooh, I got
Hey,
a 10.
watching.
Yay.
His mom.
All right,
Okay.
expert action chart. He just gets a full-on success. He analyzes it a bit,
He's good at his job.
flips it closed. He says, if we were to expose it to Nick, do you remember what the particles are that phasers fire? Are they nadions?
No, I don't know.
All right.
Call them neutrinos. Everything is
Sure.
neutrino.
If we expose it to a
feel like
concentrated blast
Chat would
of,
know.
I'm going to
Sure.
go with nadions.
Sure.
Yeah.
You could pull chat. Chat would know.
Oh yeah. Hey, does anybody know what sort of particles phasers fire? I'm pretty
Or
sure
they
it's
at least have access to
nadions.
memory alpha.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's nadions, but I may be wrong. Or I could just look it up on memory alpha. Let's look it up real quick. 'Cause we
Chat
should-
versus Memory Alpha. Go.
They have an
Or
unfair disadvantage. Though. They have the
or we could
Yep,
let them.
it's nadions.
It is nadions. Wow, nerd.
Nerd! Nerd!
Nerdions.
Yeah.
Nerdion particles.
Nerd.
Alright, if we were to expose it to concentrated nadion particles, then it seems as if it would have a quite volatile reaction.
Well, I don't know about you, but I don't carry a packet of nadion particles in my back pocket. Where do you suggest we get some nadions?
I'll ask my friend.
Your friend.
1 second.
You don't have any friends. Hmm? Mm-hmm. That's how it goes. Ooh. I'm gonna break it. Sorry. Riveting TV.
Don't touch Astrid's gun.
He says, unless I'm mistaken, that the Klingon weapon that Astrid has may be able to be modified to emit nadions.
Well, that'd be great if they were still here, which they're not.
Oh, perhaps we should just wait until the record team returns.
like our only option.
Okay.
If you're gonna talk to yourself, do it in the other cargo container. Stuff freaks me out, man.
I'm not talking to myself. I'm talking to him.
Him who?
Him.
I don't know either, my friend.
Well, I guess all we can do right now is wait then. Well, I'll actually, can I do a welder action to prepare the dung
Sure.
in a device that can
Is
be...
that going to be an immediate action or a extended process to experiment with it? And
I'll be able to set up the stuff immediately now, but it'll need the neutrino part of it later.
sure. Okay. Yeah. Give me a record or a welder.
Ooh.
8 minimal success.
Tiff. Let's get the result.
So
for it.
with very vague instruction, you're like, well, I guess maybe read something once about how warp theory works, where the universe moves around you instead of you moving through space. So maybe it's like some sort of alternate version of that. So you're like, maybe I'll try to set it up like the explosions in an engine, warp. So you set up something, you have no idea if it works because you can't really test it.
Nor do you have the blueprints
Yeah.
that are being piecemeal given to you.
Fortunately, I'm confident in my own abilities, and I think this thing is going to go off without a hitch.
Okay.
But there's a seed of an idea where it's like, maybe if you could take like an eel and test it, see what happens. See if it gets transported anywhere. But you don't want to let Sean know that.
All right.
All right. Does that sound like scene?
Sounds like the end of the scene to me.
Okay. Tiff, you are
Oh.
done.
Face to face. Ah!
Who's there?
Oh shit! Yeah.
Oh, what?
Oh, Tiff has to define who's in the scene.
Oh, okay.
Is it currently all three of you, or is it just
Yeah.
you and...
So we just all
Gaiden?
on three, the three of
Yeah,
us.
we just kicked in the door, and there's some figure
Who's the
there with a
NPC
gun.
that you have
A human
presented?
being wearing a very, very old, tattered Federation uniform.
Okay.
You don't
Would you
recognize
like
his
to
face.
play them?
Are they alive?
They are,
Oh.
I suppose.
Okay. Since you have an idea of what it is.
I don't. I'm making this up as I go along.
So am I. So are we all.
that's
Good joy.
far enough.
Ah! Who are you?
I immediately step behind Butch.
I freeze for a moment and go, oh yeah, I have one of these, and I start scrambling for my Klingon. Like, oh, I'm like scrambling for it.
He's reaching for his
Don't
disruptor.
draw that weapon.
I
I've
wish Astrid
been-
was here.
Just do as he says. Do as he says.
Okay.
Where's Khan?
Khan's dead.
Okay, change of plans. I've been marooned on this ship for a long, long time. And I need to get out of here. And you're gonna help me.
Well,
We're also stuck on this planet. I don't know where we would go.
Well,
You can certainly get off the ship.
there's a transporter here.
What's a transporter?
It's a thing that moves people from one place to another without covering the space in between.
Oh, right. Diane's got one of those.
Yes.
Well, we've got one here, and I've been working on it for a while, and I think it works. But I'm not sure where the other end is, so I need someone to step into it for me. Because I'm certainly not going to go first.
There's a transporter here? Wait.
March!
I want to, okay. So I'm like, where is it? So I start asking a billion
Oh,
questions like, where is
you'll
it?
see.
How did you know what it does?
I'm an engineer. I used to be with Starfleet. I stowed away on the Botany Bay because I was in trouble. I was going to get court-martialed. Little did I know I'd end up wrecked here.
What have you been eating?
Don't ask.
Well, the same thing you've been doing.
Just do what he says
So
for
what
now.
we're going to do is we're going to put you guys through this transporter one at a time until I'm able to verify using our control panel that somebody has lived through the process. Once somebody lives through it, then I'm going through it.
Can we come back?
Probably not.
So we'll be just stuck in a new place?
If you live.
I want to try to secretly sign to like
Butch.
not Butch.
Miley.
Miley to hand the phaser that she has to him, like
Okay.
That seems like it's risky.
risky. It's like a risky.
Yeah.
So
It'd be a
you're
general chart.
So
A general
we're
chart?
walking like in a line, and you're behind us, I assume.
Yeah.
I want to try to hint in some way to like, hey, hand the killer the gun. Get the killer the gun. But I'm gonna roll. I got 6.
So I start to let down my
That
hands.
was general or
General action.
general action. A 6 was minimum failure.
Okay.
With an
Unfortunately,
asterisk.
the guy with the phaser is also the player who gets to define that result.
And I have no.
I've
no
stopped
other
doing
dice.
this because I'm like trying to figure out what you're
So
signaling.
he's trying to signal to the person with the disruptor to do
It
something.
wasn't too good. I wasn't too sly about it. Yes.
Okay. You start waving you start kind of motioning.
I'm like trying to slide around as they're paying attention to each other with my enormous stalagmite.
She gets the signal, reaches for the thing, fumbles it, it falls to the floor.
Okay.
Ah!
I'm gonna take that moment to try and smash Christian's character
That seems
over the head with
that
my
seems like
giant.
a murder.
Yes.
So that seems like a hatchet action chart.
That's
or
what I'm
fight
saying.
chart.
A hatchet
Yes.
action.
Hatchet action.
Hatchet action.
What's that? He said, looking very closely at
Smash.
10 more left.
Your shoes are untied. No. That is a 9, which would be a minimal success,
Which Steven gets
which
to
Steven
define.
gets to, and I will bargain with a drama point into a overwhelming success.
Oh, an overwhelming success. Okay. Overwhelming success. You bash his brains in completely. He's dead, and the gun just like flips into your hand somehow.
Chink.
Whoa! Did you see that?
Pew 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 pew.
Wait, let me see the gun. Wow, there's so many things in here I can use.
Is there a power source?
I just take it apart.
Oh, okay. I was
soon
gonna
as he
say
had
don't
the
shoot,
tree, I
don't
think-
shoot yourself in the
Give
face
me a
with it.
wrecker action.
I go and pick up the gun that she dropped off the ground.
Can I just
See
talk
how
out of
she reacts
character
to
for a
it.
moment and say that I'm very disappointed that none of these have batteries because I will be making pew pew noises. the whole
Yeah, I
time.
know.
I rolled a 7, but I'm
I
gonna see
didn't
if I can
buy
roll better.
batteries. I borrowed them all from Donnie.
I know.
Yeah. If someone goes and gets batteries,
I
we can
use
have
the
a
drama
phaser
point.
fight later. Sorry.
I
what?
get 9.
Oh, what did you get?
I get 9.
Nine
To pick up what, your gun?
No,
Or to-
I'm like,
disassemble.
let me see
Oh,
that.
to
that you gave me,
disassemble
and I'm
everything.
like- And then I start taking it apart.
And you're giving me a drama
the
point for
drama
that?
point,
Okay.
yes. So I've taken it apart without shooting myself in the face, I
Great.
assume.
And a 9 is a
Success!
success. Fabulous.
But who gets to define her
With
success?
interest-
Me,
Interesting.
with interesting results. It's you have successfully
Is it
disassembled
real?
it into its parts, and inside turns out to be this little power cube that it would be used to.
Like a Transformer Energon cube?
Yeah, but you're not going to eat it.
You don't
You're
know
just
me.
that is potentially going to be very useful at some point. We will find somewhere to maybe you can figure out. Maybe you can't figure that out, but our Zeke might be able to put those things together to get them to work.
Pocket.
Yes,
Sorry, no gun.
it's unfortunate.
I mean,
that
you
might
could
have been
probably
useful.
reassemble it, or at least have Zeke do that.
It might have been useful for us if we hadn't just taken it all apart.
You gave it to the wrecker.
That's true.
She promised Astrid not to break apart this gun. They do know such promises.
All right, so,
I got my instincts to follow.
Mhm.
so it certainly has a lot of very useful, rare parts. I mean, you've got a power source. You've got
Nadions?
yeah, it does emit nadion, so it has nadion radiation emission capabilities. Although you're not aware that that's a thing
Yes.
that the other group was working on. A bunch of wiring and circuitry, and even the housing could be useful for stuff. You can make all
So
sorts
I'd
of useful
stuff the
stuff
different
out of that.
parts into different pockets and
Sure.
boot
So many
parts
pockets.
and pieces of clothing.
Does that
Whatnot.
feel like a good place to end the scene, or do you want to do something else?
I was gonna say we should
I-
end the scene about what.
I
So
wanna
what was this
find the
transporter that
transporter.
this
Yeah.
guy was
Yeah.
talking about?
Okay.
Yes.
That sounds
And I
good.
think we
So,
should end the scene
Yeah,
there.
let's go find this transporter. I bet there's stuff I could use there.
Right. Let's bring the body with us. He was going to use us as a test subject. We should probably not use him to test this transport.
Alley-oop.
Alley-oop. Maybe like
I like the way you think.
tie him on the
Genius.
end of a rope, throw him in, and then drag him back. See what happens. Like fishing.
Yeah.
So Nick, you are defining the next scene.
Oh God. I have to be in it, so it still has to be us.
So Cryptic Archon is pointing out a couple things that you guys may or may not want to use. The core is highly explosive of a phaser, since Federation phasers can be set to self-destruct.
Mm-hmm. True.
Interesting.
They can be set
Batteries!
to overload.
We have
specifically.
batteries! All right.
Thanks, Donnie.
Thank
How do
you.
Thank
make
you.
open?
That's a good
Wonderful.
question.
We need a
Production
screwdriver,
crew.
which we probably won't even bother with, but
Soaps.
no, that's the trigger.
Oh.
All the lovely people behind the
Yeah.
scenes making this happen.
Yeah,
Don't
now
forget
we
about
need a
the
screwdriver.
donations.
Probably Phillips head, very small, is my guess.
I
That
still
one may not.
I also don't want to break something I've done.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, it actually does.
I still
some-
have 10 con
Look at it.
screams left after the
Oh, no,
wonderful
that's not-
donations.
What about this one? This one definitely needs a
Remember, you could change the game. There's
Oh,
all the
also uses-
incentives. They're down below
Also
the
uses-
Twitch
Yeah,
channel.
I think these ones use
No
smaller ones.
Starbucks, only rounds.
No Starbucks?
Yes.
Ooh,
that's what
Starbucks
this
only
says.
round.
That
Well,
literally
coffee
says
cup.
no Starbucks.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, Starbucks.
What does Starbucks have anything to do with that?
No, that's what it looks like. Oh, it could also be a trash can.
All right.
It looks like
no
Starbucks,
or a trash can?
but
What?
it can also be trash can.
Hot takes on
I think we're getting
Starbucks.
distracted from.
Pass the third.
Yes.
So, anyways, here we are looking for the transporter.
So Nick, you're in charge of the next scene. You guys are looking for that transporter.
Yeah, I think we just keep going. You know,
But we don't know. Like, we just have a general direction, right? So, do we just start opening all the doors? You know,
maybe we should split up.
Which direction was he taking us in before
isn't there a
That
map
way,
on this
before
ship?
Crazy Butch over here decided to whack him?
Yeah, but whether or not the map's up to date.
There's no power, so the map would have been on a computer or something. He was leading us that way, so I think we should go that way. But
The batteries in the phaser.
oh, okay. This is not actually important to anything, you know. Okay.
So which direction were we headed in?
Yonder.
Yonder. Okay, let's start heading that way.
Down to
Does anybody know what a transporter
deck
looks like?
1.
I don't even know what a transporter is, so
Maybe they will
no.
be labeled. Like, some rooms are labeled.
True.
Sometimes.
He was describing it
This
as
one
way
says
out of
rec
here, which
center.
is what we've been looking for. So let's go check it out.
Yeah.
So we start walking that direction, and
So
Maybe-
Nick, you're
maybe-
directing the scene. Do you guys find it?
Yeah. Well, let's. You know, this one says rec center. That one says quarters. This one says. Well, there's no holodeck on this ship. This one says transporter on it. Let's try that one.
probably
Crazy.
it.
All right.
What a coincidence.
So we open the door, and we don't know what we're looking at, but there's a bunch of machinery in here.
It's an empty room. We've been tricked.
Well, maybe.
All right. I break out my shovel where the end is a spectrometer, and I kind of do a little.
What is there? Nothing. There's nothing here.
Well, there's no life here. That's.
I think the trigger's on the front of the.
Here.
All right. So I start taking my shovel to the walls. Well, there is a podium like the stand that they use to control transport. So, kind of take a look at that. I don't take it apart. I just.
Yeah, it's probably super makeshift put together since this ship doesn't normally have transporters, but the engineer from
Yeah.
Starfleet built one.
Oh, okay.
Oh, so we'll see like some
Lots of exposed wires
bits
and.
yeah.
Why don't you not touch anything in here? Maybe we should get Zeke over here to take a look at this instead of taking it all apart at
All
the
right.
moment.
I'm gonna go take apart the next room.
Take apart the next room.
All right.
That seems like a good plan.
So I'm off.
So,
is that continued
Should I go
extended
pick up
action
Zeke
for
and bring
your-
it back?
yeah, maybe that's a good idea. Do you think you can manage our pivoting
I think
movements,
if you
movements
point
alone?
me in the right direction, because I won't be able to move it once I go. But I'm willing to go get Zeke if it's a means of us all getting out of here.
Do we have communicators or something?
No.
No.
If
Okay.
only we had cell phones.
I think that's a good plan. I just don't know how you're going to get back there without help lifting to turn.
We're gonna have to. I mean, basically, we know how much we overshot on the way up here, so we just can. I think if we account for that and
Okay.
point myself in the right direction, I should be fine.
All right.
I'll just go real fast.
Okay.
Wait, why don't the two of you go? I'll be fine. I'm just gonna be busy in the other room.
Okay. You stay out of this room.
And I got
You
this.
stay out of this room.
I promise you, I will stay
Okay.
out of this
So you guys are
transporter.
planning to head back to get Zeke?
So yeah, I'll help. I'll help.
Should we lock the
Guy
door
in.
or try to lock
I
the door or something?
I don't think we can do anything to lock the door.
I
We
start.
like-
I mean,
start
she'd just take
stripping
apart
down
the lock,
Federation
so
guy
Go
and-
ahead
whatever.
and give me an extended action record.
So I
action
just
chart.
did. Do I have the -2?
It is currently
okay.
-2.
Ooh.
So I rolled a 7. So I actually have a 5, which is failure empty-handed.
Okay,
Failure empty-handed.
that's up to Nick to define.
What's empty-handed?
Well, so this is my extended action to try to look for parts to
Right.
build the shuttle. I still have this bits.
That's a good idea, Duncan. A donation could have them go through the transporter and then dictate where they end up.
Ooh, that's a good idea.
The
First,
example
get
is
the-
last year it was the Seven Samurai but Muppets.
Yes.
Yeah.
You fail, but only in kind of a minimal way where something just sparks and a bunch of smoke comes out of it. You tried taking the wrong thing apart without,
Okay.
grounding everything first.
So
or
is there
whatever.
still hope that she might be able to succeed, or is her plan?
No, I think she has failed to find anything
Okay.
here, and has caused some damage to something.
Okay.
We just don't know what that thing is necessarily.
Luckily, no one was around to see that because there was no trepidation, right?
No, there is no
Okay.
trepidation.
All right, nobody was around to see that. So.
Federation
You
guy's
two
dead.
are-
Those two are off.
Yeah, we're gonna go.
So
go
let's
get
point
Zeke.
this bad boy in the right direction.
Just slightly out of character. If you went alone, there'd be 2 seats. We could get the
Yeah.
whole party back together.
True.
Right. Well, that's another thing too to think about. Thank you for bringing that up. I was actually thinking about that. Is there's only 3 seats, so
Okay.
we want to bring back Zeke and who is that? That's the rest.
Well,
of our group?
and I forgot
I
your
mean,
name.
in theory,
Zuth's friend.
in theory, you could have
He doesn't
people
need
like
any space.
riding.
We do have
not in a
sharks.
seat. It would just be more dangerous,
Right.
especially if you screwed up driving.
True.
What about our land sharks? Can
Yeah.
we just ride them to the?
Alongside the thing.
Right. Where are the land? Are the land sharks?
We keep
docked
them in
at
the.
Botany
We have
Bay?
the pen back home. We have the land shark barn.
There's a land shark barn in
Yeah.
Botany Bay.
No, not at Botany Bay. Back
Back
at
home?
our
I guess
normal place.
so. The other NPCs and stuff
Yeah.
can ride the sharks if they need to.
Also, if we only took them back, we would have none of our other friends who we care about deeply and
Right.
don't always forget that they exist.
So you guys
over
can
there.
just come back to tell us you found something, and then we'll get on sharks.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
fly
Okay.
back.
Right.
Okay.
You'll ride out like Valkyries.
Right. So we're both going.
Yes, we are both gone.
Gotcha.
We are taking off,
taking off.
All right. So you've turned it.
Yep.
and we've set off
We've
in the
agreed
direction of
on
home.
So
direction.
go ahead and give me or give yourself, I guess, a general action because you're aiming it, and if you fail aiming it properly, that could be bad.
I got a minimal failure, so I'll use a drama point to get more than that. Minimal success
Okay.
or bargain. So I'll go with a minimal success.
I was just trying to get back.
We're just trying to get back.
You get
to
back.
you two.
Like, nothing goes wrong.
And then
Sweet.
I need a rover roll for you because you're driving.
6. Rover action.
Mm-hmm.
Minimum failure. I have no drama points.
So what's the?
That steering repair didn't quite go as well. So now the buggy can't go straight anymore. It always turns just a little bit to the left.
Great.
So you're actually going to have to point to the right of the compound and sort of curve in.
Interesting.
Remember those RC cars from the 80s where like you could go forward or you could back up and turn, but you had no actual steering? One of those, except
Sweet.
forwards.
Gotcha. Sweet.
All right. So you guys.
Duly noted.
Sounds like you guys pull up after some difficulty.
Also, I want to note that note about the RC cars from the 80s is totally in character because we lived through the 80s. Because
That's true.
Yeah.
We did.
Oh, I didn't.
Oh.
I was born on the planet.
Oh, that's right,
I'm
I'm
a
sorry.
young'un.
All right.
My character was
That's why
also
you're so
born on the
scrappy.
planet.
Is that scene? Whose scene was that?
That was my scene. It's a little disjointed, but I think that our scene ends with us making it back to the compound, but we haven't interacted with anybody yet. And her scene has ended with her sort of screwing things up, but also not injuring herself.
All right.
All right. Am I able to like skip things like so we don't have another round of us moving
Yeah.
over? Kind of say, oh, we
Yeah.
all managed to get back to Botany Bay, and we're
you
all
can
in the
move
transport
scene
room.
wherever you want.
Okay.
Lost Zeke's
So,
headband.
everyone, including the NPCs, ride land sharks over, and we're in the transporter room now talking. I also have a question out of character. How do you get leadership? Because I have like all the drama done.
So you just declare like I want to become leader, and
All right.
people vote. You can of course bribe people with drama points, etc. If you want their vote.
Or you can just be
NPCs
using
can
your
also
drama
vote.
dice.
So if you want NPCs there to try to convince to be leader, or if you want to elect one of them to be leader, like you basically just
I do want to
nominate
elect one.
someone. Could be you, could be anybody else, and then everybody weighs in on whether they're yay or nay for it.
Okay. And I might do that at some point during this scene. All right, starting off, we'll see the transporter, and he will think that this is the perfect place to set off the explosion. Combined with all the technology for transporting, it should be a weak spot where it will rip a hole into another dimension. So we won't just have to move through space. We can move through to somewhere completely different. And he will look to Q to see if that makes any sense to him.
So yeah, so like the
Or
camera
to his friend.
Yeah, so we'll say the camera is panning over the. Is everybody here, even the NPCs?
Yep.
Okay, so it's panning over everybody, and then amidst the NPCs, the camera just sort of turns and locks in on John Delancey as Q, except he's wearing Ricardo Montalban's con outfit, so it's bare-chested. His hair is frosted, frosted white. Let's say he's wearing.
Is he full size or is he mini Q?
We'll say he's full-sized. And he's just not.
So he's visible now. To
you.
everyone?
To you.
Okay. All right. Then I think it's time to put this plan to action. I think we should make my friend our new leader. He has the best chance of leading us to success.
Who is
And we're all
who is
together
your new
now?
friend?
That's amazing.
We're all together now at Botany Bay, right?
Yeah. So,
So I guess when you said your friend, if you gestured, I think you're gesturing at the next person over. And
Yeah, which is
I'll,
me.
I'll gesture
Clearly,
to, empty,
I should be
to
the
what is
leader.
an empty space to me, but to what is Q.
Has he been huffing the eel poop again?
I think as
Astrid asked for her disruptor back.
Oh,
I found something that might be able to power it. You want me to hold on to it longer and see if I can?
What is it?
I start patting myself down for the various parts of the phaser that I took apart, and the thing that the Nadion emitter also kind of falls and like rolls across the floor. I'm like, this
She
thing,
looks-
I think.
She looks to Zeke.
Azu's got some kind of plan having to do with Nadions, and if we can rig this thing to shoot them, then we
What?
shoot a bunch of eel turds. I know how it sounds.
Well, the original phaser probably doesn't need to be re-rigged. It just needs to be rebuilt if you want to do that.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, maybe give Astrid her
Oh,
gun
okay,
back.
There you go.
Oh.
Sorry. I'm trapped. Give you the pieces. I think that's it. Oh wait, here's the cube of power. There you go.
Yeah.
but
So
who's your
Marla
friend?
looks to Zuth over there, and she's sort of walks up and she's like, "Are you hearing voices again?" And she sort of pats you on the shoulder.
It's not just voices. He's real. I've told you this.
Well,
And he will be our leader.
I'm not going to say I don't believe you, but maybe some evidence?
Q rolls his eyes and becomes visible to everyone else.
Okay.
I just want
So
to.
there's suddenly a person that has appeared.
Ah, who is
Actually,
that?
I'm gonna make you do a witch roll to see if that happens. Because if it doesn't work, that is bad.
Where did my... Oh, I flipped it over. That's why. And I'm going to use a drama point.
Drama.
And now it's a 9, a success.
Okay. So improbably, there's suddenly a 11th person in your group. It looks like they belong.
I step behind Astrid.
Yeah, Astrid like pulls her disruptor, and she's like, "Who the hell are you?"
And he's got
just standing there,
the
bare,
con.
like, open-chested, like con, like.
And I'm like, Con!
And
What are you down to?
And then Q was like,
9.
Azoo! I don't have to yell it out as Azoo.
Azuth! He says, as he looks amongst you, has the right idea.
I don't trust people that just appear out of nothing.
Yeah, I think I'm with the hatchet on this
Did
one.
Azuth just make us all crazy?
No, you remember all those times things just kind of went well? It was from his advice. He's been protecting us from a distance. He's already been kind of leading us and guiding us. We might as well make him our leader.
But he's not one of us. He's not one of the augments.
Also, what
He's
does
just, who,
Yeah,
I don't
who
even
are
know what
you?
he is.
what does
Who
he
are you?
want?
Who is this?
I am Q.
Okay? What? Tell me more.
What do you wish to know?
Why are you here? Why have you talked to Azuth?
Well, if
Why-
my
why-
help isn't welcome,
No, your help is not welcome.
Wait a minute. Hold on, Butch. You think you can help us get off this planet?
I can do more than you can imagine.
Why would you help us?
Well, it is within my power.
What do you want in return?
What does any god want in return? That is what, of course, you would think of me.
I don't think of you as a god.
I still think of you as a
Just think of him as a friend. A very powerful friend.
I want you to test something for me. Your mettle against that of who put you here. Humans. Which is better? Augments or those that made them?
Us?
The galaxy only has room
Augments.
for one.
So you would help us see our vengeance?
Vengeance can be fun.
Vengeance is necessary.
See, we should make him our leader.
No? No.
Seems like we want to. Let's go to war.
I needn't lead you. I may just show you the door. You are the ones that have to step through it. If you have the courage.
I don't know. We have a transporter. We don't know what it does or where it goes.
Are you talking about this transporter thing, this Federation guy that we
So
killed?
we're gonna soup up with Ceti eel shit.
Crude, but will do the job. If you are worthy of it.
I'm liking the cut of this guy's jib.
No. How? Why? Who?
I think
what?
it's time for humans, time for federations, time for all those people out there to feel Khan's anger,
Wrath?
displeasure. No, that ain't it.
Wrath has something to do with it.
Something like that, though.
It is to exercise your manifest destiny.
You got a better idea, Butch?
I mean, I could smash him.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah. Yeah,
Is
I
it
got a
real?
big old,
Is he
I got a
gonna
big
try
old
touching
stalagmite.
him? Is he just a
Please
figment of our imagination?
use what was given you.
I have a stalagmite. It was given to me. I'm going to smash.
Okay.
He's gonna
I'm going to at
swing
least
it.
attempt to smash
Yes.
Q.
Go ahead and give me a hatchet fight roll.
This is gonna be fun.
For those on the stream, I rolled a 3.
Oh dear.
And I have no drama dice.
Oh dear. What is that result?
In Hatchet Land, that is a failure or a stymied.
Okay. So stymied is the action fails and the character is stuck in the action. The duration is contingent on many factors, etc., etc., etc. So it could just be a failure or he could be stuck. Your decision, Stephen.
Reading the thing, the action.
Stuck in character with Q would be me literally like frozen in
Frozen
time.
or-
Yeah.
He's a space wizard. He can do anything.
Yeah. Yeah, you try to hit him, and he just kind of reaches out his hand, and you're just lifted in the air, and you're frozen there. Just
Yeah.
hovering above us.
He lifts his
Mid
hand up and
attack.
he goes,
Yeah.
snaps his fingers, and you're just, ding, and just frozen and almost like a frame out of the picture.
All in favor of Q for leader?
I look to Astrid.
Yeah, Astrid is like still like pointing her disruptor. She sees that and she's like, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Butch can't vote, but we can assume that. Let's see. Who
Does
else?
Marla know who Q is?
No.
No.
Okay. Yes. Oh, he wouldn't have.
Devlin
Ricardo.
is going to raise his hand.
I mean,
yeah, at that
we
point,
won't
it doesn't
assume that
matter
the
who else
entity
anybody
but
voted for.
entity could have existed.
Marla doesn't vote for him, but she's also not an augment.
She's not one of us.
Yeah, she's not one of you. All right, Q is currently leader. He gains a drama point. He also gets to take two scenes
I'm scared.
in a row. So when it comes to me, I guess I'm going to queue it up. All
Okay.
right, we are at a little over 2 hours at this mark. Do we want to take a quick break for bathroom? Is that something that we could do?
If our viewers don't mind.
I can do
Do you guys
bathroom.
need to use bathroom?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's do that. How long will we be offline?
We can
Couple
take a
minutes.
5-minute break or so.
That sounds
Quick
good.
five,
Cool.
quick fiver.
That's
All
a quick
all
time.
right.
Quick good time to donate some money. So when we come back, we have some new incentives.
Yeah, and
Yes.
let's say refresh the incentive list
New
to make sure that that's
Q
obvious to people.
incentives. Queue up some incentives.
So Duncan Idaho says,
Queue
"Oh
up
God,
some incentives."
Q talking about fun. This is going to end with a battle against British forces in the Caribbean."
All right.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, yeah.
Thank
Take a
you.
quick break. We will be back. That seems like a good cliffhanger into going into Act 2.
This is a 2-part episode.
Yes.
Are we out?
Welcome to the Mycelial Network. Please state the nature of the mycelial emergency. This type of attack could spread through the entire network, which would be very bad. I told Strahl that our work could get twisted into some sort of weapon. If the network is damaged beyond repair, it could end all life. Everywhere. Okay, I know what I need to do here.
When he was born, they had to airlift him to the IWK. I found out that they didn't think he was even going to make the flight, and they then identified that he probably had what's called spondyloepiphyseal dysplasia congenita. When I got to the IWK, I stayed right beside him the whole time, and you start thinking about all the little things you're going to miss. The thought of never being able to hold his hand and walk across the street, never taking him to the duck pond, never taking him the first day of school. We brought in a cake and gave all the nurses cake and brought presents every month. And I said I was going to celebrate every month that I had him.
How could this guy that was so sick have come out to be such a vital, active, bright young guy? Spencer was in the neonatal unit at the hospital when I first saw him, and they'd asked me to see him about a cleft of his palate, which had been a minor problem that they'd noticed compared to some of the problems that Spencer had.
Spencer's condition is a rather complex one. He has a congenital, he was born with a condition where his long bones aren't growing. The type of dwarfism he has is associated with some instability of his neck, that his neck can move back and forth further. The treatment for this requires a surgical intervention, and neurosurgeons are typically the prime movers in this case, and the orthopedic surgeon take bone and support the area, so you basically fuse or stiffen that upper area of the spine. You used to like stickers, didn't you? Huh? Do you want some for old time's sake? Or are you too big now?
No, sure.
Oh, okay, good.
For old time's sake.
For old time's sake, excellent.
Hey, Spencer! Hey! Cookie! Oh, did you miss in class? I missed in class. That's noise,
I treat him just like a normal friend, and he treats me like a normal one. It's really great. There's some perks to it, you know, like the elevator and stuff.
All right, so we haven't got any more.
I've got a buddy over here. He's a good friend of all of our Spencer McKay, right? Hey, Spencer. But this is what's new with Spencer. Let's show everybody at home there. That is what's new with Spencer. Look at that. Holy Hannah.
You always want to provide excellent care for children like Spencer. They've already been through so much. If you read over his history and you know what he's been through, in his case, we did have to take him to the operating room a few times to do treatment for him.
You've got neurosurgery, but then that would knock off one. We've got 6 doctor's appointments next week. So.
Wow, that's a busy day. It's a privilege for me, and it's an inspiration for me to meet these families who just can go through everything they've gone through and still be smiling and positive and happy at the end of the day. In the Maritimes, we are the regional center, and we have all the specialists here.
It hasn't always been the IWK. Initially, it was the Halifax Children's Hospital when it was first opened. And it's been the only pediatric hospital east of Montreal in Canada since forever.
Before I had a sick child, I didn't realize the importance of a hospital for kids. It doesn't hit home to you until you've actually had a child who's had to stay there. Spencer was in there for almost 2 years, and I lived in that hospital, and I became family. I became, just a part of the fixture. I certainly would love to say, without a doubt, that I appreciate from my total heart the IWK and the Children's Miracle Network. This is the biggest eye-opener to me of how important these organizations are and how much they do for the families as well as the sick children.
He's very good for people in the waiting room. When they see Spencer and seeing his engagement with them and his attitude, a lot of people will come in thinking they have serious problems and say, man, I saw that guy out there and I really don't think I should be here.
Humor makes us laugh. Humor brightens us up. Humor is why we're still happy, If we just sat around and thought about all the sad things and never laughed, then where do you think we would be now? Depressed.
So he has a way of disarming them and putting in perspective some of the conditions that we see.
And we're back. Alrighty. Quick recap. Things have taken a strange turn, as they do at Extra Life. The witch, who has been hearing voices their entire time on Ceti Alpha 5, has finally come face to face with who has been giving them strange, bizarre advice beyond their comprehension. And that entity has now manifested as Q, in the best Ricardo Montalban outfit as Khan that he could muster, which is, in other words, très magnifique, who has just been elected leader of the Augments on Ceti Alpha 5 and has promised to lead you elsewhere. But it is not yet Q's scenes, multiple. As he is leader, he gets to do 2 scenes in a row, which is coming up swiftly because we are now at Jeremy's turn, who is playing Guyan Rosling, the Rover. What's the scene you want to present to us now?
That's an interesting question. An obvious one, obviously. Do I want to pick up where we left off, or do I want to go have a flashback?
Could be a scene between you and some others in a side hallway or something, discussing what just happened. Or...
Right, and we're all here right now at the moment, right? All the NPCs and everybody.
The last scene, everybody was present. On the last episode of Star Trek.
Steven did a meanwhile, and then everybody just appeared at the botany bay.
It's a cold open.
So I guess we'll just start right back into the scene where we left off in the last episode. Butch is still frozen in the air. Everyone's kind of got a shocked look on their face, and yeah. So
we just voted him in.
I try to break the tension by going and grabbing Butch's foot and bringing him down, but I end up being just hanging from him and being able not to bring him down. Mm-hmm. But everyone's kind of giving me a weird look.
So everybody's present, including Q?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, the scene starts from there, so we're all kind of still in shock. I'm trying to pull Butch down, and then you guys are kind of all giving me weird looks.
He comes free.
Oh shit! I mean Butch falls down.
Q is looking more and more like Khan Noonien Singh by the moment. His hair is getting longer. He looks a little aged and ruggedly handsome. His shirt has vanished. I'm not going to remove my shirt, but his vest is open, revealing...
How much money for John to take off his shirt?
That's right. If you donate now, we can get John to take off his shirt.
I don't
it's
think
not
that's
that kind
something...
of show.
Yeah, I don't think that's something we should do, but we can. I'm not wax chest like Ricardo Montalban. I'm looking at Ed for confirmation
that you're not waxed.
Okay, how much? Put it in there. How much is it for me to remove
$1.
My shirt? How much is it for me to remove my shirt?
I'd say if we hit our goal,
Ricardo Montalban fashion. I don't know if that's something that we should do on this.
I don't know. That seems like a $250 thing.
Okay, $250 for me to remove my shirt and look more and more like Khan Noonien Singh. I'll wait.
Meanwhile, we all
looks just
stand.
like Khan.
Meanwhile, at the Hall of Justice,
he's got that same kind of leather that Khan used to wear. Well, Corinthian.
So just because this guy caused Butch to float in the air, it forced us all to vote. Now we have a new leader. So
some might call me a god.
Yeah, we're not
Every
calling
god
you a god.
needs a high priest.
No one's called you a god.
I accept.
What did you do, man?
What does this mean? You need to explain things to us because I'm not following what.
This is my friend. He's been helping from the shadows for a while now.
Right, okay, you say helping.
Yeah.
Helping how?
Butch.
Providing information.
He puts his hand on your shoulder in the way that seems very familiar to you, like when Khan would give you a pep talk and stuff. Although,
remember,
you did kill Khan.
Yes.
But you're feeling like you probably can't kill this guy. You don't know exactly what happened, but you were swinging at him, and next thing you know, you were on the floor.
Right.
He puts his hand on your shoulder. Butch, save your strength for the fight ahead.
What fight? Explain things. Tell us things.
In the one corner, my disciples, the augments of Earth's 20th century, superhuman in every way. In the other, the inferiority of mankind, who deserves to have the galaxy as their oyster.
What's an oyster?
It is a delicacy, they say, on Earth.
Like Ceti eel eggs.
Yes.
Yesterday.
To Earth! To get our oysters!
There was a time when Khan ruled over most of the Earth. Is it not time to reclaim which was once yours?
Oysters.
It is time.
I don't care about ruling Earth. I just want to get off this rock.
Yeah.
Right.
But I mean, if you're on Earth, you're off this rock.
Sure.
So you're with us then.
Okay.
Let's go claim our oysters.
So what do you want to have happening in this scene, or is it already happening?
I guess it's already happening. I mean, so we need to decide to ask Q. Do we need to use the transporter to do this?
Khan.
Khan.
Yell it.
Khan. Now I have 8 left. What do we do? What's our next move? You say there's this fight coming. Is that fight here, or is that fight on another planet? Is that fight to when we're getting where we're going?
Where would you like it to be? Choose the arena. You are outnumbered.
Can
the
you
Federation is many worlds.
Can you get us through this transporter thing to Earth?
I can do anything, my friend.
Do y'all want to go to Earth? Is that where we're voting on? Because it looks like
anywhere
we could
other
use
than
this
here.
transporter.
Somewhere with oysters.
Well, let's go claim some oysters and have fun on Earth.
Ceti oysters.
Let's go back home.
1 minute though. Say we go back to Earth, defeat the humans, as of course we will, take our place as rulers. What do you get out of it? What's your angle on this whole thing?
Yeah, what do you get out
Why
of it?
do I need to get anything?
Qual.
Perhaps I am merely entertained by conflict.
I don't know if that makes me feel any better.
I want oysters.
I'm confident it does not make me feel any better.
Aren't you also entertained by conflict and like killing people?
You are very confident in your abilities, are you not?
Sure.
Butch, use what you were given.
Is that what you mean?
Brains, not just brawn,
I don't know
my
what-
friend.
You're an augment.
Yeah, we're augments. We're supposed to
We're
be
all
super
very
smart.
super
Right, I am
intellectual.
smart.
Super smart.
But do you charge into a battle without knowing your foe?
Sometimes. Like just now.
Do not
Where
underestimate
I attack you.
Do not underestimate humans. They, after all, did design you.
And got rid of us.
Pit.
The meddlings of who put you here?
James T. Kirk.
Ah, that is a name I have not heard in a long time.
Does he have oysters?
Probably.
Let's go take our oysters from him.
In the name of Khan!
All right.
You're just powering through them at this point. Again!
Khan!
Yes!
So we got this transporter, we got this pile of eel poop, and we got this Nadion generator.
Shoot it!
Probably need to make a
Yep.
A roll to make the gun work.
minimal failure on the welder action chart.
This is fine.
We're fine.
We'll all be together.
What's the
Minimal
minimal failure? Well, did you reassemble it already?
I assume this is an action to just try and make this
Sure. Reassemble
assemblage
plus
work. Yeah.
I assume you know
Maybe
what Nadions are.
Q's friend might want to drop some drama points on this situation. Help
Can
us
I use
out
drama
here.
points on other people?
You can break any rule you want with the drama point.
Yeah, I'm gonna drama point him.
Okay, so spend a drama point to your foil, and then spend a drama point for him to add a die, or as many as you wish.
I was just.
So you give one to your
toss two.
foil,
So
and then
one drama point to break a rule, and the rule that you have broken is that you can only spend drama points on your own rolls.
Okay.
In this case, now you can spend them on others. So
5 and 6 is 11. Overwhelming success.
all right.
So you shoot the
Shoot
the
the poop.
dung pile.
You shoot the poop.
Poop shoot. Poop shoot is very different than shooting poop.
Mm-hmm.
Be gentle. It's Donnie's.
Yeah, don't hurt it.
And before it actually hits the poop, Kion kind of goes, or Kion kind of goes, ugh, just with a wave and a snap, and suddenly we're on the shores of San Francisco.
Interesting. What is the year?
We do not know. Only Kion knows.
Does it look familiar to any of your compatriots?
I was born on the planet, so.
I immediately run towards the water and start puking from the ride because I was not expecting all
Okay.
that.
Also, this is more
That
water.
was
than
way
you've
faster.
ever-
That's way. I like going fast, but that was real fast.
Okay. So in a flash, you guys are no longer in the Botany Bay. You are on the shores of San Francisco. Waves are rushing in. People are strolling along a promenade and sort of.
I bet we
like,
look
note
real in
that
place.
You are very out of
We're outside.
place.
Put on your glasses.
Yeah.
Goggles. Got to protect ourselves from the hostile environment.
Still San Francisco.
All that salt and water in the air.
There's plenty of poop to refuel.
Can we even
with
breathe
at
here?
San Francisco.
I'm breathing. Aren't you?
Actually,
Yeah, I think we're probably fine.
It's remarkable. You are breathing without mouthfuls of sand and dust. The air feels moist and pleasant.
Moist.
The temperature is not uncomfortable in any way, shape, or form. The sky is filled with fluffy white clouds instead of just brown dust storms. There's greenery everywhere. There's people that you've never seen before. They're just sort of strolling along and looking confusedly in your direction.
You know, if Q was going to put us somewhere where we blended in and looked normal based on our costumes, maybe like 1983, somewhere around there.
Before the time we were exiled, maybe?
Q, by the way, is not with you.
Oh. Well,
His head emerges from the water, and he says, "Let the conquest begin."
Well, I guess we're conquesting Earth again with the 10 of us.
Yeah.
Well, I wipe the puke off my mouth, and then I immediately realize that we're on sand, still thinking that we're back on Ceti Alpha 5, and I start running towards where there was not sand because I'm scared that there's eels in the dirt. But little do I know that there are no eels on Earth.
Oh, this is your scene where you.
Yeah,
Where
so
you
you're
headed
running
to.
towards like the highway?
Yeah, I'm running towards what I think is not sand because I'm trying to get somewhere with I think because I obviously we don't know where
You've
we're
never
at.
seen buildings before.
No.
So we're confused.
Or cars.
Many containers stacks high.
I'm gonna follow Astrid.
What time period have you ended up in? Is it, as Nick suggested, 1983?
Yeah, a couple years before we were exiled.
Okay.
Yeah, we.
That means that we're still here. It means that we can do a Bill and Ted moment.
Yes.
Yes.
We immediately run. They notice me running off the beach, and so then they follow, and then we stumble across a parking lot full of vehicles that none of us have seen before.
This ground is strange.
There's a sweet, sort of coppery brown Toyota Tercel, like in the parking lot, that catches your eye for some reason.
That's a good looking buzzer.
Like,
Yeah, it would blend in pretty
look at
well with the
these
desert.
buzzers.
Yeah.
Man, that's a fancy.
You could probably squeeze 5 people into it.
So I go to the door of this new Toyota and try to open the door, but it's locked. So I immediately
Put your back into it.
So I immediately look to our.
I will remind you, you are an augment. You could probably just rip the door open.
Marla's still with us, right?
You tell me.
Well, the whole. I think he teleported the whole group. So.
So Marla would at least recognize.
Yeah.
I guess we all would if we were any of the old
And she
ones.
says,
Okay.
you actually might have, if you were alive, before being cryogenically frozen in the Botany Bay, and not children of those people that only know Ceti Alpha 5, like Miley here, this would all be very familiar to you.
Right.
Miley is a young'un.
Yeah, Azuth is also young.
So I immediately, knowing being a mechanic, I start to go look for something to break into the car because I know how to hotwire it.
Yeah.
Because this is like all familiar to me. So I gotta use a roll to break in.
Give me a roll.
10.
Nice. Nobody puts an alarm on a Toyota Tercel, especially in 1983. So.
Right. So I managed to find some material to jimmy the door open. The key to get the.
You get to define. What's the result?
The result of my action chart, or general action.
Your rover action.
Rover action is success.
Okay. So how does he succeed in?
He had one of his kind of in his toolbox, some little picks. He managed to just jam one into the door, pop it right open.
Okay.
So I get in and I hotwire it, start it up, and then we start talking to Marla about where to go.
So it's going to be very difficult to fit 10 people into a Toyota Tercel.
We probably need to get 2 cars.
So how many people can fit in this Toyota?
5. 5 if you really squeeze.
So we got one vehicle
6,
down.
Somebody in the hatch back might be able to fit.
Where are we headed? We have a vehicle now. Like, does anyone know where we're headed? Or why we're here?
We should go to the leader.
Do you know why your friend brought us here?
To conquer. I think we should go this way, and I'll just start pointing in a direction that somehow leads us to something that will help us conquer the world.
Maybe like the
Okay.
Federation.
Were you alive in 1983,
Nope.
or are you a child on Ceti Alpha? Okay.
Child.
Well, so then it is definitely a witch roll to see if you just pick the right direction to head to, let's say, an armory. Actually, don't know if there's an armory in San Francisco proper. I think there's one over in Oakland, though.
Might be like a museum that has
to Oakland
something.
Like a
police station
museum.
would have some weapons, and you could build your way up from there.
Yeah, maybe, yeah. I got a 6.
A 6. What's that result on your
Press
wish?
on.
Press on. So
you just keep spinning.
Jeremy gets to interpret what that means.
And what was your decision? You're trying to.
I'm just trying to. I just started pointing us in a direction towards something that would be useful for conquering the world.
Oh man. That one's fun. So he immediately points his finger a little bit off the ways, and he actually points to a much bigger, like what looks to be like an old school bus.
Okay.
Like it looks like a group of tourists are just getting off of it.
Like a tour bus.
Like a tour bus.
Oh wow. Okay.
And it looks like instead of taking one car, or it's multiple cars, we should probably take that one big car and all get out of here at once. But it requires us jacking their car.
Conquering their vehicle.
So
this is the most Star Trek Journey Home scene that I can think of.
Is there a guy in the bus with a giant boombox?
Yeah.
So basically, we need the driver. The only one that's left on the bus is the driver. All the tourists have gotten off. We need to figure out a way to get the tourist, the driver out of the bus.
So yeah, the doors are open. He just sort of leans over, like in his chair, and looks down, and is like, "Sorry, this bus is already being used."
So I send Hatchet in to remove him, to throw him out the bus, but not kill him.
I'm only good at killing. I'm not good at removing people from buses.
You
I
got
think it's fine to
everyone
kill
here.
him. The
Right,
plan
right.
is to.
Oh, okay. True.
Should probably wipe out most of the population, right?
Oh, right.
I mean, I can just start killing people if you want.
No, probably should wait. We don't want to cause too much attention off the bat because we're in an unfamiliar area. But we should have Delvin, ask Delvin or actually, excuse me, the soldier Astrid to use her weapon to get pointed at him and get him out of the.
Okay. That's not going to be risky. She
Hijack,
has a gun. He doesn't. She pulls her disruptor and points it at him and says, "Get out." Actually, no, I am going to roll.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it wouldn't be anything he's ever seen before.
He's going to think it's a laser tag toy.
and then pull out a shotgun that he has to have for security.
That laser tag 1983.
Well, she gets a 9, which is a success. So, would you like to define it? Actually, I'm going to go backwards for me. Go ahead and define.
Define Delvin's success.
No.
Or Astra's success.
So she points the disruptor at him, and
it looks like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's an older man, so he seems kind of confused, but he realizes that we have this very serious, intelligent look on our face because we're, we are augments. So he confusingly, gets out of the way and passes his way through each of us and then runs off.
Okay.
So yeah, so we have the bus now. I jump in the hot seat. The keys were left.
This thing fucking friggin' steers.
Tip jar. Where are we heading?
I don't know.
Hey, driver, before you leave, take us to your leader.
Yes! Perfect line. Yeah, that's not going to be an action. He just is like, who are you people?
So he might as well come.
What do you mean, leader?
My boss?
Yeah. I can take you to corporate.
Yeah, that sounds right.
What's a corporate?
What's a corporate?
That must be the head of the whole planet. We should go there.
Do you know James T. Kirk?
No.
Starfleet headquarters?
What?
King?
What do you
What about the president of Earth?
What?
The president of Earth.
Oh, Ronald Reagan?
Yeah.
Yes.
Sure.
Take him to us. Take us to him.
He's not anywhere near here. It's going to take days for us to get there.
Road trip. Let's go.
I drive fast.
Okay. Just don't kill me.
If you take us to your leader, we will consider.
Ask him if he knows where the oysters are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, do you know where you can get some oysters?
I feel like our goals are a little.
Yes.
All right.
he points like
He
just
said
down the
oyster.
way, and he's like, "Yeah, there's the I can't remember the name of that restaurant that's off like Pier 33." Anyway, he points down toward a pier, and there's like a little restaurant there.
All right, well, first things first.
Do we want oysters, or are we going to take over the Earth?
Man, I haven't had anything but eel in as long as I can remember.
Me neither. Let's
My
let's
entire
get
life.
some oysters.
Yeah. Let's,
My grandpappy told me about oysters.
yeah.
Back in the
Oysters,
day.
then world domination.
Okay.
In order. Let's go.
All right, so we're heading. So I start her up and start heading towards the
Okay.
oyster store. That's the end of that
yeah,
scene.
it drives real good, and the roads help too. You're not really familiar with traffic
Rules, laws.
so I'm going to need you to roll a rover drive.
Hell yeah, let's do this. We're going hardcore.
Four-wheeling this bus up on top of things.
Sandra Bullock ain't got nothing on me. Was she was the speed, right? That was her Sandra Bullock. Okay.
You were doing so well.
10.
Wow.
What is the result?
Rover action chart.
Yep.
Is a success.
Okay. Define that success.
The bus is careening down a steep San Francisco hill. This was a success, you say?
Yes.
The light is red. Of course, we don't know what that means. The bus driver starts going,
Dear God, we're all gonna die.
What are you doing, boy?
Turn left.
We turn left and crash through a bunch of construction pieces, and construction horses go flying everywhere. People dive out of the way, and the bus skids down next to the seafood restaurant.
Okay.
Con! We made it. Who's hungry?
Oysters.
All right. Is that scene or?
That scene.
Okay. I have graciously removed Q from the picture, so I'm going to allow you guys to keep rolling scenes because I think that's more fun. But your leader is no longer present until a future determined time. But what is the next scene, Zeke?
I mean, how is it not all of us just walking into a seafood restaurant?
It could be else coming out of the
It's
seafood
Extra
restaurant.
Life. I shouldn't be surprised that this is where the super serious apocalypse survival game ends up when you add Star Trek and Extra Life. But anyway.
Please wait to be served. I will not wait to be served. I will be served now.
No shoes, no shirt, no service.
Yeah. Is this who else in this scene first? Is it everyone around the table, or
I'll stay in the van.
What?
You should
I'll guard the van.
It's any of the player characters who want to come, as well as all the NPCs.
Okay.
Including
And
Marla.
there's a young waitress at the front's like, yes, hi, table
Marla's kind of
4."
in like a state of shock a little bit.
Probably just hungry.
This place is alien, but also familiar to her.
Like there's
but
some
also
landmarks
like
or whatever.
she's sort of being carried along on a quest to extinguish humanity, of which she is a member of. But you know, she's all down with the power trip.
Also in the background, a sound that's slowly becoming louder, like a something like that.
Yep.
We get a booth. You guys want to get a booth?
It's a big booth.
This is an awkward way to sit.
I
could take this apart in a minute. 30 seconds.
Do they serve
Yeah,
oysters here?
The waiter seats you, but then you see that he has walked over to another person in a similar outfit to him, and they are having a hushed conversation. Although you all have augmented super senses and such, so perhaps you can listen in if you wish.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I don't think they have any money, but I seated them anyway. Should I just bring water and then ask casually if they have some? No, that's very rude, Billy. You don't assume that they don't have any money just because they're dressed that way. Maybe they came from a Battlestar Galactica convention.
Battlestar Galactica. I like the sound of Battlestar Galactica. What is that?
We should use that to conquer the world.
Maybe they're onto us.
Well, we can't hang out here all afternoon, so maybe we should just have them make us a round of oysters to take on the road.
I like that idea. Get back on the road.
Oh, you do have the driver with, or is the driver on the bus with Bush?
You know, we brought him to kind of translate.
Yeah,
for us.
he's just like.
Actually, he probably has money. Do you have money, driver?
Yes.
All right, driver's
No.
paying.
No. I mean, yes.
Doesn't Marla know what money is? Wouldn't she explain that to us?
Marla's from the 22nd century when there wasn't money. We would know what money was more than she
Isn't
would.
she a historian?
Yes, she is a historian, so she
Yeah.
understands how it is, but she's sort of in like this lucid sort of like
So she's-
drinking it in from a historian perspective.
She's kind of worthless to us, is what you're saying.
She's always been worthless to us.
Do any of you have anything
I
you
am
could use
right
to bargain
here,
for some oysters?
Azul. I'm right here. You don't talk about people like
What
that.
about this thing?
No,
You
that's
okay with-
that's attached to
Listen.
my shovel.
She leans over to the driver and is like, "You'll be fine. Just pay, get us on the road, and then you'll be safe."
Liar.
He just nods. So, oysters. Okay. He grabs a menu. Like,
Is he sick? Why is he shaking so much?
He must be really excited about getting those oysters.
how many do we want?
I don't know, how big are oysters?
All of the oysters.
Yeah, that sounds good. All of the oysters.
Okay. They aren't cheap.
How much money do you have?
Hold on. He
But
just-
carefully, slowly.
Faster than that. We're hungry.
It's just a wallet. He opens it up. He looks through. He does some calculations. Marla interjects and says, "We can get 6 dozen oysters."
6 dozen oysters. I'm imagining like each
He says,
oyster
"Don't
is the
forget
size
the
of a
tip
meal."
and tax. We can get 5 dozen oysters."
I don't care about this tip and tax you speak of. Just get us the oysters. I'm starving.
Okay.
Been on a long teleported trip.
fast forwarding a little bit, the order goes through, unless you want to define that there's difficulties there. Or...
No. We will pay for the oysters and make our way out back to the bus. All right, driver.
Is there any complication? Have those noises gotten louder or anything?
They have. They're starting to get, like, as we're getting on the bus, there's definitely an increase in the volume of those things.
If the world is our oyster, the world is very tiny.
The world tastes like boogers then. Those oysters tasted like snot.
They certainly aren't as delicious as I'd been led to believe. They're sort of like eels, if I'm going to be totally honest.
Sort of saltier than I expected.
almost
I don't know if I want the
saddened to
world.
say that I kind of miss eel. Like, that was a little weird.
Well, Sean's still with us, right? He's got eels.
Yeah, I guess.
In his
of course
pocket.
Sean's got eels.
Yeah, like you realize this whole time he has like a little like glass bubble aquarium with a little baby eel in it.
So we just need to get that to the
Bob.
president.
That's right. All
To
right,
Ronald
driver.
Reagan.
We've
Yeah.
got our protein and our nutrients. It's time to visit the house of this Reagan.
Bring us to the Reagan.
This
All
ray
right.
gun
Are you still
character.
driving?
Yes.
I was gonna
Okay.
is a witch thing. We see a thing of him. He's for some reason in L.A. doing something, so he's not as far away.
Give me a witch roll.
Yeah.
It's not improbable, but it's improbable that you would know that.
I would like see a news
Yeah.
thing of it. Yeah.
Do we read English?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, yes, because we had those books.
Well, yeah.
You probably know multiple languages because A,
All
super
those
fast
books.
learner. B, you're on Ceti Alpha 5 where there's not a whole lot of recreation.
You guys got any drama points to do?
Yeah.
C, you have a whole bunch of
Nope.
books.
Steven's got all of them.
No, I don't have anywhere near.
I got
He's
one.
getting
I can give one.
I'm about to get.
Where do they all
if I'll get trepidation if I don't use one, so I'm
You
going to
guys
use one
wanna
right now
join
too.
one to
That's better.
Chris, yeah.
Okay. 8, which is success.
Okay. Define the success.
The witch has a freak out moment and spazzes out and has another epiphany and tells us that Reagan is in Los Angeles. However, none of us know what that means, but the driver does. But at this point, the driver's too scared to drive, so I ended up having to drive. And starts pointing us in the right direction on the highway.
All right, you guys roll on to 101 South and start going.
Look,
Only we need to take the 5.
The humans have provided us with an escort. All these flashing lights.
Yeah.
They're going to help us on our way.
That sounds like a good place
They
to
know
end the
who's in
scene.
charge.
There you
Next scene, Tiff, would you like to define what is going on?
go. Oh god.
How big an escort were you thinking? Like
Well,
just
it
one
seems
or
to be
two?
getting bigger the farther
Is
we go.
the budget for this film?
You don't have any.
Did they just decommission all of the old?
Right. These are ready to be like
Yeah,
launched upside down. If
Blues
necessary.
Brothers
Yeah,
style. Okay.
Very much. Helicopter overhead.
I'm excited for where this finale's going.
There's
What's going on, Tiff? What's the scene?
All right, so the driver has convinced you to stop and pull over on the side of the road. It's a stretch of freeway that's just outside of town, so we're not in the middle of rush hour traffic or anything. And he's like, "Let me take care of this." So he stepped
So is
out.
it like South San Jose on the way to Gilroy?
Let's say we're in Gilroy.
Okay.
And or maybe
I
right,
will
right outside Gilroy.
Let's not have a gunfight near Gilroy, please.
Oh no, for sure not.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But also yes. And so he's like, let me just take care of this. And so he's talking to the police and be like, these guys stole my bus, blah blah blah. And the police are like, get out of the bus. And we're like, okay. So the scene starts where we've just subdued all the police officers just with our bare hands.
Okay.
Like we ran up to them, took their gun, and just like, what?
All right. So there
What?
are probably a half dozen black and white cruisers with flashing blue and red lights, and about a dozen unconscious peace officers on the ground.
And Miley's sitting on one officer and just starts like kind of like patting him down and like, oh, what's this? And starts stripping out like breaking down the guns and the batons or whatever equipment they might have back in
Breaking
there.
down the
Like,
baton.
what can I use? Well, batons are, like they've got the little handle bit, and it's like, this is an interesting
You're an
material.
augment, so you just like break.
She's never, I don't know if she's ever seen plastic before, but it's just like kind of like, okay, nothing very high tech here. It's basic metals, projectiles, so on and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
These cars are cool with the flashing lights. Maybe we should modify the bus with that.
Yeah, the driver meanwhile is like, and he books it. He starts running like toward the median of the highway.
Should we go after him?
I
I
got
feel
the
like-
oysters.
I feel like
Maybe
Astrid would.
He's okay.
Would be good for chasing him down.
Did he at least tell us before he left where the president is?
We heard something about Los Angeles. Los Angeles.
Angeles.
Marla says Los Angeles. I know the way, and then you hear the report of it's not a risk. You hear the report of a firearm and thud, and Astrid is standing there with one of the police sidearms. And,
I'm gonna pick up
the
one of the
driver
firearms.
has been shot.
Oh.
The driver's been shot?
Yeah, she looks at it and she goes, "That was satisfying." Starts shooting it off into the air.
I'm gonna pick up one too.
Okay.
I'll fire it off randomly and then stop.
Okay.
Just see how it feels.
Traffic has ground to a halt, several dozen meters.
Weren't you the one that said don't start a gunfire in
We're not in
Gilroy?
Gilroy.
Oh,
We're
okay.
right outside or something.
Okay.
It wasn't a gunfight. We jumped on them and
that's fine. I just-
fuck you.
What are we doing? We should get
We're
back on the
going-
road.
yeah.
Yeah, we need to get back on the road. Or are we? I mean, the bus is fine.
Okay,
So
no
let's head-
augmentations needed, you don't think?
No.
All right.
Should we pick up a map?
Slightly disappointed.
Uh,
No, Marla knows the way.
Marla apparently knows the way, so.
Marla pulls a large bound paper binder out of a compartment at the front of the bus, and it looks like it has a bunch of maps, and she starts flipping through it, muttering under her breath how archaic and fascinating this whole system of navigation is.
So let's get everybody back on the bus.
Yeah.
Okay.
To LA. So we just left behind a whole police whatever, and I think
Situation.
we're gonna run into a blockade up ahead.
Probably.
Astrid, why did you shoot the driver?
Marla said she knew the way. He was no longer necessary.
I guess that makes sense.
Cold blood.
Aren't we here to conquer this world?
Well, you better know where you're going, Marla. That's for Astrid's sake.
Vengeance.
All right. Marla places a map down in front of you that has the coast of California, and she points and she says, it's about 400 miles to Los Angeles. We've got a full tank of gas.
Everybody strap on your seatbelts. We're about to go fast.
What's a seatbelt?
It's the thing that straps you into your chair.
400 miles is a long way. I wonder if we could juice up the engine of this bus a little bit. Maybe get there a little quicker.
Well,
I mean, this is primitive technology. I think I can
Tell
do
me
a
what
little
you
bit
need.
better
I'm happy to break down any
You
of
want
these
to take
police cars.
a welder action real
Yeah.
quick?
Maybe Sean's got some eel poop we can put in the tank.
Yeah.
That's a
Pretty
6. That is a minimal failure.
You don't have a dinghy? All right.
No, nobody has thingies.
He has all of them now because I gave him all
I
of
can
mine.
so I can go left and give him one.
You can spend one to
one.
give to him in order to break the rules, and then spend more.
So I give him 2 if I want to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So give him 2.
Oh my.
Because we're friends.
And then I roll one of those?
You could re-roll one of it. Yeah, I mean, these are the
So I
drama
keep-
points.
Keep
now,
the
so.
4.
Whoa.
8.
8 is better than 6.
Yep. Minimal success.
And now I get one.
Well, how about we do a full success if there's something that I can bargain with your character for, since you're the foil.
You could give me your other drama dice, and
Done.
then I'll have 4 dice. Oh, because I take one from you using.
So okay, so I used 1. Do I keep 1?
Yeah, you keep it.
Okay, and then I'm gonna give you that one.
That's a bargain.
That's the bargain.
All right.
All right.
Oh, because I.
So how do you?
Okay.
So how does he end up souping up the van?
So you approach Sean and be like, "I see a little dropping in there. Let me see what happens when I just dump it in the gas tank. And so after some fumbling around, gas tank, dump it in, we kind of look at it, nothing happens, like, well, hopefully that didn't break the bus. We all get on the bus and start going. And it drives even smoother than before, and I think the top speed has somehow increased by another 20 miles per hour. There's a police blockade up ahead.
All right.
A serious looking one.
Here we go.
Okay. So we end the scene there. Sound good?
Yeah.
All right. I think it's Nick's. Yeah.
Well,
it doesn't have to necessarily be the blockade. It could be after it.
Yeah.
Like if you want to move the story along.
okay, yada yada yada. No blockade.
Smash through the blockade because we're augments.
Well, it's something that you guys could be talking about in the later scene. Is like, yeah, even that blockade.
The blockade was crazy, right? Yeah, I think for the sake of things, let's be near LA. So coming down 101, we're past Santa Barbara.
And there's LA traffic.
And yeah, and now we're stuck in traffic. which
why do they make these vehicles?
We do not yield for traffic.
Guyan doesn't appreciate the traffic very much. And we've seen more or heard more news reports about where Reagan is. He's giving some talk at let's say Griffith Observatory, because that's an iconic location that people like.
There's all this space on the right side that no one's using.
I'm already on top of it, and I've already driven over that lane and going that way.
Yeah, there's like really loud noises every time you do that.
These things with red and blue lights keep coming after us, and they won't stop. I don't know how many of these things they have on this planet, but there are a lot of them apparently.
Do you think they're like battle drones or something?
They're fleet or some sort. Maybe it's
there's
the president's
things inside of them.
Maybe it's the president's army.
Conquer.
Maybe they know somehow. They know we're here. Maybe Khan expected to warn them of our arrival.
This must be that test, that conflict he was talking about.
Right, that conflict. Yes, these red and blue lights. So we're coming up on. I think we're coming up on our exit soon, or whose scene is it?
It's my scene, but
I'm driving down the emergency lane on the highway right now to get around traffic.
Yep.
That sounds like a rover action.
Yes.
To avoid a terrible collision.
10.
You guys are rolling on fire.
Success.
Drama points.
Who needs them?
Who needs them?
It also helps we're like just giving each other drama points.
What were you doing?
Just driving down the emergency lane on the highway to avoid all the traffic.
Yeah,
at like full speed.
I feel like electing Q to be leader has freed you guys all to just work together.
Yeah.
Like,
it's not.
None of us have gotten any
anymore.
trepidation either. Like everybody trusts everybody.
I keep blocking myself from trepidation with drama points.
Yeah.
Or else I would have got it twice.
Earth is just so much easier than Ceti Alpha 5.
Oh, it's super easy. You guys probably stop for gas at some point.
Yep.
You have like 7-Eleven big gulps and.
I thought we were using Ceti eel poo as our gas now.
Oh, it just
Slim
augments
Jims.
the. It just augments the.
It's
fuel.
like Nas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys got eels here? Where do you keep the eels?
Sean still has his.
Sean's all nervous. We're gonna like kill his eels.
We can't kill them. We're using them for fuel.
But that requires them to poop more.
Yeah.
He's
They need to be
only got
alive to
one.
poop more.
He's only got Bob. It was Bob, right?
Spot.
He's only got Spot.
So what was the
So he
success?
drives up the side of the road, and it's this classic LA kind of half-pipe situation. The bus starts to drift up on the side of the wall a little bit, and we're teetering over.
Yeah.
And he manages to bring it back into the main
Yeah!
line
Con!
of traffic.
I'm assuming the radio's on and it's Beastie Boys again.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, they haven't.
They're
formed
not
yet,
there yet.
but,
So it's Cool in the Gang.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I don't know.
I swore Beastie Boys was 83 at least.
Maybe some of their early stuff. Maybe. Chat right in and tell us when was the
when-
License to Ill released? It wouldn't have been 83. License to Ill? Maybe.
No, probably not. I'll look it up real quick. Keep going.
So
I guess we
arrive.
We arrive, and we're at Griffith, and there's Secret Service are everywhere.
We've got a ray gun
Reagan is doing
for Mr. Ray Gun.
They formed in 79.
Reagan has to give a
Oh, no,
speech or
81.
something. Is preparing to give a speech at Griffith, and I don't know what we're going to try and take him and
hopefully it'll be a peaceful transfer of power. We'll just say, hey, Earth's ours now.
Right. Okay, so then
what's he going to do
let's
about it?
strut up and tell him that.
Licensed
Secret
to
Service
Elvis
stops all of
86.
us.
If he doesn't understand,
a
we'll
little
make
bit
him
too early.
understand.
Yeah.
All right, so we're strolling up to Reagan.
Okay, yeah, you guys arrive at the observatory. There's crowds of people here. They don't seem to be reacting in shock or violence with like others have. But there's just a huge crowd, and then there's like these guys in all black. They sort of remind you of the peace officers a little bit, but they look different. They don't have a badge. They're not wearing hats.
They don't have as many pockets.
Yeah, they don't have a ton of pockets on them. They don't appear to have any of these bang firearms on them. But they do have little like communicator earpiece things, and they seem to have like a perimeter around a certain section but you can see a older looking gentleman in a similar looking suit actually, but with a red tie, standing at a podium just giving a rousing speech. Seems leaderly. Marla points out, that's Reagan.
Is she freaking out?
No.
Finally, she's regained her senses.
So what do we...
She says, we don't have to do this.
Conquer him?
There's other routes. We could undo everything all the evil that Khan ever did. We could integrate with the society.
She just said Khan was evil.
What he did in the past was evil, but I saw the good in him. He took care of all of us. That's not bad. But this revenge, it's not healthy.
Vengeance will be ours.
Everybody's okay with me killing
The oysters
Marla,
will
right?
be ours.
You can kill Marla? Should I kill Marla? We should kill Marla.
I would be glad if you.
Doesn't someone
would do
usually
that.
tell you to kill
I
someone?
think he does.
Yeah.
You'd like me to kill Marla? I'm going to kill Marla.
You can attempt it.
In the middle
I got an
of the
11.
crowd.
Jeez!
I'm killing Marla.
Death to all humans!
Meanwhile, this is in front of the Secret Service and Reagan's speech.
Yes.
I just club her to death with my stalagmite, which I'm still holding on to for some reason. I don't know why I'm carrying this thing around, but I'm still doing that.
How do you interpret the 11?
I'm guessing that's like
That's
is that success. Or
That's a success. So
you're using this.
Interesting results.
Interesting results.
Interesting results.
And there's no way to get around her dying at this point.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, interesting results could be that Q pops back up and does magic to keep her alive. But I think short of that, probably
Or
little.
Secret Service,
maybe.
While you all two are fighting, because he doesn't have a gun, he has a weapon.
Yeah, and it's big, so
And
as
it's
soon as he
big.
raises it,
But it's a stalagmite. Nobody thinks of that as being a weapon. They just see me.
until you raise it.
Right.
All right. So you kill her. You just beat her over and over again. The Secret Service is just so shocked by the violence of it that they don't do anything. They just don't react. She's laying on the ground in a pool of blood. Q appears like, why? And then he brings her back up, but then changes her mind a little bit so she's on board now. She died for a little bit. She's back, but now she's completely on board with everything that we want to do. And then Q disappears again.
What just happened?
Apparently nothing.
Oh wow.
So now we need to go talk to the leader dude.
I think we got their attention.
At this point, the Secret Service are probably reacting.
Yeah, they're
I
shocked.
don't know. It's your scene, so.
And I'm terrible at this, so I'm open to suggestions because I'm not good at any
logically,
They saw you raise a big club overhead, and then there was blood, but then everything was actually fine. So
and Q probably fixed that up too.
Yeah, Q could have wiped their minds.
yeah. So I imagine
I
they're
think,
just like, wait, you're getting too close now. Is probably.
yeah. Hey, suit guy, is that the leader?
He just sort of like has his sunglasses on. He just sort of tilts his head and he goes, "Who are you?"
I'm Butch.
Just keep it back a little bit. Butch. Do you have a press pass or anything to speak with the president?
What's a press pass?
I don't know what that is. We need to talk to the leader.
I think he's saying that you need to press past him.
Oh, okay. I just start moving forward.
No, hold on. And he like sort of puts his hand behind. Actually, he reaches into his jacket. Like, whoa. Back it up there. We can talk after the speech. He motions over his shoulder. There's speakers broadcasting the voice of this older gentleman. But the guy still has his hand inside of his jacket.
Touching himself.
Is that speech going out to the whole world?
It is televised, yeah.
We should get on that.
We should get on that
Yeah.
speech.
Yeah, that's speech.
Go.
We're gonna.
Then we all rush him.
Yeah, we all rushed him.
Flood of 10 augments. Well, 10 augments. Now.
Yeah, I'm just going to do a fight action for everybody because some injuries might happen.
Can I make the guns misfire or like jam or something?
You could do the witch chart, I suppose. That seems likely.
Oh.
7,
8.
Let's start here and
7, which is press on.
okay.
8 is minimal success.
Well, you need to define.
Oh, I need to.
Yeah. Press on.
All right, you basically kind of use Butch and Astrid and maybe Garrett, as like your meat shields, and you're just like, you duck when you hear a weird sound, and eventually you punch some suited man. And I would say you are fine after the scuffle.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not making a lot of headway. You're not losing any ground either.
You watch someone's back,
You know, it's tiring. You can't
You got a
maintain
little
this forever.
bruised knuckle.
Okay.
Just a little bit.
What'd you get?
I got an 8.
Minimal success.
Minimal success.
You managed to get past all of the dudes.
I got almost doubled.
Yeah. I don't think you even needed to hit them. You just kind of use it to block people, and you kind of work your way through and push them down.
Came in like a wrecking ball.
Miley.
Took a while for that.
Beautiful.
That was that. Thank you.
All right, you can donate $5 to have Tiff sing the entirety of that
Well, I
song.
don't think I know the whole song.
Can I donate $10 to keep her from ever singing that again?
You can donate $10 to prevent somebody from singing. A player of your choice.
Or $1 to say, "God!"
How many do you got left?
Wow, look at that.
Down to 2?
3.
3 left. All right.
3.
Make them count.
We got 39 minutes left, so one every 13 minutes. That should be
Sweet.
I also rolled an 8, which is minimal success.
You're just generic.
I think we're all just kind of pushing towards
You guys are bum
the
rushing
Reagan.
the stage, basically. The Reagan.
I don't think we even care about the Reagan anymore. We care about getting
Just
on
getting
TV.
televised.
Yeah. So you managed to push through people, probably club a couple on the way there.
Thump, thump.
Maybe not dead, but they're unconscious from getting hit over the head by whatever the hell you're using. And then you get past them though. Yeah.
Okay. What'd you get for your
I'm going to use a drama on mine because I got a 4.
Okay.
And I don't want trepidation. Okay, so that's a little better. A 6, so it's a press on using the witch stuff. And I was trying to, you get a draw point. And I was trying to make it so that their guns like jam or misfire or something.
Gotcha.
So there's a little bit of like having to clear the chamber and bullets jamming, but it's not completely disarming them. But like critical shots fail, but it hasn't completely disabled their ability.
Mm-hmm.
What'd you get?
I rolled an 8, which is for my rover fight chart is minimal success.
Okay. So this is proving a little more difficult than you guys planned, probably. How does that
Planned.
success?
As we push through the crowds. His success allows some of those Secret Service guys to fall by the wayside. And there's a clear path between us and Reagan, but somebody else has stepped in. It's a little slouched guy with big glasses, and he's carrying a little red book that says "The Catcher in the Rye" on it, and he's got a pistol, and he's headed in Reagan's direction.
Oh, interesting. Okay. So Marla got a 5 on her fight chart, which is a minimal failure. I'm going to have you define that.
You said Marvin?
Yeah. Sorry, not Marla. Astrid. So
Astrid.
she pulls out her disruptor and points it in the direction of the man at the podium, but it's a minimal failure.
Minimum failure. I would say that she attempts to shoot him, and right before she pulls the trigger, she is tackled by one of the Secret Servicemen and drops the gun.
All right. The disruptor goes scattering into the crowd and is getting kicked around by feet. All right.
Chaos.
I think that's the scene. It'll slash cut over. Steven, define what is happening next.
Okay, so I think we all succeeded well enough that we were able to get to the stage, basically.
Okay.
Yeah. So
And
we're all.
Reagan's probably been escorted to safety somewhere. 'Cause
Wait a minute,
it sounded
can I-
like your objective was more to get to the stage than actually.
Can I spend a drama point to get you to do your best, Ronald Reagan, as he's being led away from the vicinity?
Oh God. Sure.
Ooh.
I want to hear it.
Say no to drugs.
Let's see, what was going on in 83? So it was before the challenge. Okay. And the exploration of space is paramount in the sovereignty of all nations on the Earth, and leading our way. Oh dear, what is that happening down in the crowd there?
It's like Reagan and Professor Frink.
Yes.
I like it.
Good. Thank you.
Very impromptu.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
He gets let off.
Goodbye,
Well done.
Mr. President. So who's our leader that's going to be making the speech?
It should be Q. So I'm going to say that as we get to the podium, Q appears again to talk to the people, to set up the challenge that's going to be put before them to fight against us augments.
Okay.
So that everyone is aware of the battle that's about to come.
Okay. I want you to roll a witch chart to see if he actually does manifest in the way that you want.
7, minimal success.
Wow.
And so as they're
Well, what does his minimal success result in? So he's trying to get Q to manifest to
Right.
speak to the people.
right, Q appears right after the Secret Service men get Ronald Reagan out of the way. Q appears momentarily, and then he I don't know. Any suggestions?
All right, he appears
Minimal,
next to you.
minimal
guys.
failure, minimal success.
Minimal success. I'm trying to think of something minimal.
I think he
So
would
he
want the
appears
cameras
next to you and he
keep rolling.
says, "A god has a high priest to speak for him."
Okay.
You know what to say. What's in your heart to say? And he uncomfortably rubs your shoulder.
Does Q still look like Khan, or is
Yeah,
he
he
back
looks
to
like-
okay.
Quan.
Quan! Quan!
Nerdy side note: there was a Ferengi named Quan at the experience
really?
back in the day. It's spelled coin, but he pronounced it as Quan.
Okay. Then I guess he disappears. So.
Yeah, he'll just stand there behind you if you
All
want
right.
him to.
Then I will step up to the camera to challenge Earth to.
Yeah, there's
the
people
battle.
fleeing and stuff, but of course the
Yeah.
cameramen and reporters are like, don't you dare take your eyes off what's going on here.
Attention, inferior humans of Earth. We are augments, superior beings from a distant planet and time. We have come to take over the world, to make it better, make it more augmented. Actually, yeah, let's.
We're in
We,
our-
we don't- we
Put
didn't,
Sebastian
we didn't
for
think
this.
about this too much in advance. Hold on. Let's marvel at our superior costumery.
Mm-hmm. You guys look super imposing. Yeah.
Who wouldn't want to let us leave the planet?
So,
you will bow before I march, and then I will shoot out one of the cameras.
Okay. What are you trying to accomplish here? Are you actually trying to get humanity to bow down to a single speech?
I'm more trying to tell them that we're here and let them know that there's a battle is going to start.
Okay.
So that they know
that's not
both
risky.
sides know.
We're here
Everybody's
to take back
filming
what
you
was
guys.
ours before. Or wait.
Hmm?
Well, because we know that they're gonna. We know that they're gonna take us out. This is prior to us going on the Botany Bay, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they don't know about Botany Bay yet.
Nope.
Send us your greatest warrior, and we will defeat him in combat, him or her.
Yeah, sure.
And then you Earthlings will know that there's a new sheriff in town.
Yeah. And then after all that, then I'll shut up again.
Okay. People flee, etc., etc. That seems like a good place to end that scene. We're getting close to the finale, the showdown.
While you do that, I can go back.
Yeah, no problem. Man. So we're picking up off the next scene. We left off in this scene. I mean, are we surrounded by Secret Servicemen at this point?
It certainly seems likely.
I'm actually surprised there are no snipers yet.
Right, like there's we're pretty much surrounded at this point. Like the building's cleared. Like, you know,
Lasers show up on our foreheads.
Right.
Yeah. Like we may be ignorant, but we are also super smart and we
Right.
are well read, I suppose.
Right.
And strong and fast and nimble and
And incredibly good looking.
Mm-hmm.
Just a little dirty. Yeah.
So next,
But the
the next
moist air has
scene.
done wonders for our skin.
You know, is our goal? Are we still going after the leader, or is it all open?
The leaders we are the leader as far as we are concerned, I think, right? So it's
We
more.
just declared we are leaders. Come at us if you don't agree, right?
Yeah.
I think that was the gist of
Okay,
his
so
speech.
it looks like you're aiming for a leadership role over the Earth.
Well, it's our oyster, right? So we want to see how boogery it is.
So the WWE has heard our call and said, oh, they need the world's greatest fighters to challenge, and so then they call us up, and then we go on the World Wrestling Federation to fight the Earth's greatest fighters. That's what I think we should do.
Oh wow.
That is certainly a viable comedic route to take.
Yes. You know, the next scene is you know, we're in this building. We're all surrounded by cops, and they toss in a phone to talk to us, and you know, to see what our demands are.
$10 to make me play as Macho Man Randy Savage.
And we demanded that they send us their best warriors from this WWE Federation we heard about. On
WWF.
WWF that we had seen. We had their commercial came by and we saw big warriors who said, "Let's fight your biggest warriors like these WWF." So you know, we make demands that you know, we're either gonna. I mean, I don't know, because we're so strong that we could just come out there and just start kicking ass, right? Too.
Yep.
I mean, I say we go after the president. I don't know.
It's your scene, dude. Do what you want.
The president put a Ceti eel in him.
Yeah, we forgot we were going to do that.
Well, we kind of bum rush the stage rather than.
Right.
So I don't know if
But he's still around here somewhere.
But is the Ceti eel going to do much? I guess we could control him then, and so.
Are you implying that President Reagan's already kind of Ceti eeled out?
No, I was implying that we have just bum rushed the stage with Secret Service on camera, assaulted the president. If we
never actually reached him.
Okay.
If we put him back on camera and he says these guys are in charge now, the Earthlings will have to go along with it.
Okay.
So after the camera cuts off, I look over to the witch and say, "Hey, do you know where they're going, or do you have any foresight on to where they're headed?"
Yeah, he's that way.
He's that way. All right. So we start we all start charging the one direction that wherever Reagan went, and
Probably a helicopter on like the back lawn or something.
Right.
Can we jump that high?
And that helicopter
hasn't taken off
has
yet.
some technical problems.
Yeah, helicopter hasn't taken off yet.
The rotor starts to slow back
Give me a
down.
witch roll to see if that's the case. Hey, Ed.
Right. Does someone want to give me drama points like I've been giving other
on your
people
end.
drama points?
Teams.
I don't have any
I
drop points.
suppose.
Yay! 'cause
I
rolled a
spend
5.
one to break the rule, pass one down to.
No, I think he still gets it. I just re-roll, right?
No, you. I'm giving you one for you to use now.
Just give it to me. Okay. Much better.
Me.
7. Minimal success.
And I'm doing the success.
He's hexing the helicopter.
So the helicopter is it's still struggling. However, it's struggling just a little bit, and it's slowly starting to lift up off the ground, and then it falls again. But it's doing like one of these teeter-totter things where it's keep going up and down, up and down. But so he's holding it, but I don't know for how much longer. And then we all start.
Yeah.
Then obviously the president's Secret Service men that are left with him are raining down fire on us.
Well, it seems like you guys have dealt with Secret Servicemen before, so I'm just going to say that it's not a non-issue. What is your goal? To just capture Reagan?
Yeah, we want to capture him and put an eel in his ear that
Okay.
Sean has.
Okay. I will do a biology roll for Sean to appropriately extract a Ceti eel. Got a 7, which is press on. So it's going to take some time for the Ceti eel to take effect.
Okay.
So yeah.
But he's been eeled.
But he has been eeled.
The president
the building
has
has
been
been surrounded, and you know, Reagan is like, "What have you done to me? I don't like what you're doing." He's like, you guys are restraining him and everything.
So so after we did that,
What are your demands?
It's gonna take a while for the eel to go into effect, but we should drag him back to the podium and figure out how to get that TV back on.
We probably once he's been eeled, we can just give up to Secret Service or whoever. We don't really care if they arrest us or anything, because he can get us out as soon as he's.
So we should make him suggestive to our plan, and then where are we taking off next?
Well,
what's the next goal?
I think wherever they want to take us, because I don't think we care.
yeah, we just didn't want to be on
Right.
Ceti Alpha 5.
Where do we want
life
to?
to
I
be
think we're going to
better.
all take
Marla,
Force 1
who's
over to the White
now
House, right?
fully on board with you guys, says, well, the president can pardon any of us for any crimes, in theory, and then we can work our way into dominance through his administration.
Well,
According to my memory, he has 5 more years in this office. Plenty of time for us to do what needs to be done.
I asked the president if he has his own.
Butch deadlift.
Does the president have his own spacecraft here in Los Angeles? Some sort of flying craft? That traffic was awful earlier. You have nothing that flies around here?
The helicopter.
I believe they had internal combustion engine vehicles. Very few nuclear-powered vehicles on the planet, mostly very large, but none flight capable.
They have planes?
No planes?
They do have aircraft that use internal combustion engines.
Yeah.
They're fairly slow, but
Well,
a
Air
matter
Force
of
One?
hours to get to the DC.
Do you have something bigger than the helicopter that could take us to your headquarters?
Why do we need something bigger than the helicopter?
Because there's all the
a lot of us?
NPCs and us.
There's like 10 of
Yeah,
us.
but
And the
helicopters.
president.
Some helicopters are big enough. Marine One would be.
Maybe.
I'm thinking that the helicopter's smaller. I'm trying to get us on Air Force One.
Well, it's
Right, but we can get a
standard
Marine one, which
United
is
States of America
the helicopter he
policy
would have had,
not
which
to
would
negotiate
do
with
10.
terrorists.
We're
Oh,
not
we're not
terrorists.
terrorists.
We're your
We're your
friend
conquerors.
now.
There it is.
You can, I guess I will do an extended action at -1 because it was press on for Sean and his eel. He got a 5. Unless someone wants to use
The eel is not eating the
use their drama points to break rules.
I got drama points. I'm gonna give you 1, Sean 1.
Okay.
So I give
go
up
ahead
1.
And give it to Christian.
Oh my god, I'm.
And the other one to Christian. All right, he got an 8, which is press on again. Which drops to 7. Yeah. So it's just going to take too much time, but Marlo will say, yeah, we could take the helicopter to another location. That should buy us some time, and then they're not going to fire on us while we have the president.
Well, I'm just gonna need a second to get used to how to fly this thing. I haven't. I could fly it, but it's gonna take me a second to figure out the controls here.
Okay.
Who's all going? I mean, can we all fit in the helicopter?
You can all fit in. It's a very large.
So everybody gets on the helicopter, and I attempt to start trying to take this thing off. I've never driven before, but being the driver that I am, I'm able to figure it out really fast.
This is fine.
And you know, we lift off.
Go ahead and give me a roll.
7, which
Press
is press on.
Okay, spin here.
Oh, thank
Drone
you.
point to you, and then
You just give them both to her.
Okay, then you
Get
get
the extra to roll again. Oh, even worse.
No better.
So it's a 6. It's a minimal failure.
Oh, no, you would pick
keep
which
the
dice
press
you
on.
keep.
Oh, right. No, I did. I picked.
He rolled even worse than he already
No,
had.
I know,
so.
but normally you would just roll all the dice.
Still,
and pick
I see
two.
what you're saying. So press on.
Yeah.
Still.
Okay. Yeah, so you're figuring the controls out. You're having some trouble lifting it off, also. Yeah, I don't see any reason to continue this scene. You guys have a plan. Let's just move along to the next stage of it. Where are you at now? Say the Ceti eel has taken effect.
Okay. Is there a big Los Angeles like Coliseum or arena or public?
Yeah, there's Dodger Stadium.
Dodger Stadium.
Disneyland.
Sure.
Disneyland. That sounds good.
The happiest place
Wanna do
on
this in
earth.
Disneyland?
We are taking Ronald Reagan to Disneyland.
Sounds great. Where are you
I'm
landing?
going to wear ears.
In front of the big castle. This is going to be the new world headquarters. This castle here looks very impressive.
We've never even seen castles before, so
Mighty impressive structure for.
You've read about them, though.
Petty humans.
And you know that kings live in castles.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right.
And queens.
So,
So right in the middle of Disneyland. Just
yep.
People scattering. Yeah.
Greetings,
steps
subjects.
off. President steps off with his, I guess, WWF wrestling crew.
Yeah. Hello, puny humans. Your former leader has some remarks to make, and I trust you'll listen well. Go ahead and tell him that we're in charge now.
All right, go ahead and give me a general action roll.
11.
Wow!
Dang.
Wow! What is that?
We're good at this.
Success.
So,
We're augments, man.
We all
We're
get
better than
churros.
humans.
Some turkey
some
legs.
people, after running away from the incoming helicopter, stop and realize, oh, that's the president.
Yeah.
And then Reagan actually steps down. They're like, it's President Reagan. So
Yeah.
some
He
people actually
waves.
come back and they're like, oh my God.
That's the movie
Right?
star.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. And
Cameras.
he says, he makes, an impromptu speech about like, hello everyone, I am
My
giving authority.
fellow Earthlings.
I am handing over all authority to my new rulers. You are now in charge.
We should have a name.
I
The
stand
augments.
here in the happiest place on earth
To hand
to
power
announce
over.
that we are not alone in this universe.
We're still human.
Yeah, but you said you were from
yeah, but
another
we're
world.
we called ourselves augments.
That's right.
Yeah. And this castle will now be
Benevolent beings from a time and place beyond our understanding.
You're turning into Rod Serling
I
now.
and the castle's gonna be the new base of operations for our new benevolent overlord.
And as rulers, we're going to
This
wear these
castle
symbolic
will
crowns with
serve
these
as
mouse
the
ears on them.
new world government headquarters of the Augments, advanced beings.
But, sorry, as he continues his speech,
He keeps leaning over to hear you guys whispering into his ear.
our first order of business is to send food over and to send the mightiest warriors from the WWF to meet us here.
The greatest warriors of WrestleMania. I can't remember which WrestleMania it is. I think it's like 2 or 3.
What's that thing? I get distracted and go over to one of like the churro stands and eat those. And I will tell you all that they are way better than oysters.
The world is our churro.
Ask Reagan to tell people to bring us all of their churros.
It was WrestleMania 1 in '83.
Nice.
Perfect. So
I
WrestleMania
have
1 to get changed locations
declared
last
that
minute.
WrestleMania will occur at the happiest place on earth to demonstrate the superiority of these benevolent rulers of the earth.
Oh yeah.
Oh no.
And then it like pans out and there's like a television screen and then Macho Man is standing there with like an interviewer and he's just like, I can't believe what I'm
someone pay?
hearing in my ear hole.
Did someone pay, or did you give that away
No,
for
I'm
free?
just gonna do it
Oh,
because I
man.
want to. Yeah.
But for the children.
There's been plenty of donations that just didn't have any, connected.
Okay, yeah.
the
Then I'll do it. I'll do it for
children,
the
thank you.
children. It's like I'm doing this for the children of the earth. Earth is for man, not alien scum.
Did he just call us scum?
Sorry, I didn't
Why does he look so angry?
I like those shades that he's got, though.
Yeah.
Sunglasses.
Cause I'm Macho Man, Randy Savage, not Macho Augment.
Dang.
Well,
Butch Deadlift. I challenge you.
I would pay so much money to
Battle
watch
in the
Butch
stars
Deadlift.
on Space Mountain.
Man.
2 kilometers of pain is coming your way as we orbit Mercury and I drop a power bomb on Uranus. Oh. Did you get it? Yeah! Oh yeah!
Snap into a Slim Jim. Snap into an eel.
I mean, I don't know about the rest of you. This is exactly where I thought this whole thing was going to go. So,
All right, we got 15 minutes to do a wrestling match, I guess.
all right. Dun 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 dun.
Is that ending your scene then, or is that?
That was not my scene.
Oh, whose scene was
I
that?
was just saying what he got
Was
the
that my
president
scene?
to
Was that
do
your scene?
because I'm his fool.
I think it was Nick's scene, technically. But
Okay.
It was?
I don't know. It's your scene now.
you guys are so cooperative at this point, it doesn't really matter. So
I thought it
You
was
guys
Jeremy's
both did
scene.
scenes already?
Yeah, I think so.
I thought it was.
no, because it was. I thought it was his scene because the president came out and like
Oh.
was starting a speech, and then we went off and
Yeah.
the whole WWE.
Okay.
I think it's Tiff's scene.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure the humans were going to be able to provide a worthy adversary for us, but
this guy's yoked.
this savage will be a
Well,
worthy
and
opponent.
it's going to be a
Who was all
tag
at
team
WrestleMania
match, I'm
1,
sure.
like
Hulk Hogan's going to
Undertaker?
come in.
No,
and,
it was Hulk Hogan,
Hulk,
Andre
you
the
said?
Giant.
Okay, Andre the Giant.
Let me look.
That's what I'm
a
thinking.
giant
Yeah.
and a savage. Oh, this is going to be fun.
And a Hulk.
And a Hulk and a junkyard dog.
And maybe an Iron Sheik.
Might have been Iron Sheik. Let's see. There were 9 matches. Hulk Hogan and Mr. T defeated Paul
Mr. T.
Orndorff
He's here.
and Roddy Piper. Wendy Richter, accompanied by manager Cyndi Lauper, defeated Leilani Kai to win the WWF Women's Championship.
Is Captain Lou here?
Nikolai Volkov and the Iron Sheik defeated the U.S. Express to win the Tag Team Championship. Wow. Muhammad Ali was a referee. Yeah.
Serious
It's a
business.
momentous occasion. Yeah.
Yeah, so there
Although
probably
I
was-
believe Muhammad Ali would have kicked all our butts.
Yeah, I don't think
so.
Macho Man was in that one.
Oh no!
But I definitely think it's going to have to be either Hulk Hogan or Mr. T against Butch Deadlift. Which one is it? Probably Hulk Hogan? Nah, Mr.
I don't
T.
think. I think Mr. T would kick my butt, so I'll go with Hulk Hogan.
Okay. All right.
Do I roll for that?
Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna. Are you gonna try to murder him? Or
Well, I
you
don't know.
fight him?
This is Tiff's scene, I guess, right?
Oh,
This is
all right.
opening
So
night.
quickly, surprisingly, the amount of red tape you'd think that this sort of event would see was actually quite minimal, since all the news networks and even WWF just thought about the amount of profit that was to be made.
Oh, yeah.
Humans versus aliens. The only logistical thing we had to worry about, and that Marla kind of took care of, was like, why aren't there actually anything comfortable to sleep or sit on in the actual castle at Disneyland? And the taxpayers are currently paying for all our food. So up in...
Just imagine you guys have nachos. These are amazing!
Listen, when all you've had is Ceti Alpha Deal.
Yes. Earth is actually going to conquer us through their junk food. But
My amazing
even the
body.
augment can't handle like hardened arteries.
Yes. But the day of the great match is upon us, and we're all gathered in Space Mountain. Isn't that a roller coaster ride?
It was, yeah.
Oh, dude, are we gonna? It's just gonna take place on
It's
the tracks,
in front
man.
of Space
Yeah,
Mountain.
the plan I had was that
Space
you're
Mountain.
on the cart wrestling.
All right.
Oh, okay.
cool.
Is there a... okay.
And they've installed more cameras inside, and we're now on the walkout scene. Go.
What's my walkout music?
Oh wait, yeah, exactly. What's
Obviously
your walkout
Beastie
music?
Boys. No.
Oh, they're not. Maybe Boy George.
Won't you take me to Funky Town? Won't you take me to Funky Town? Yeah, okay. It's me versus Hulk Hogan?
I guess so.
Great. I'm down. I rolled an 11.
Nice. Steven, would you like to narrate?
Is it a
this
success or
This is a hatchet fight thing, I guess?
Are you trying to kill him
No.
or just fight him?
No, I think we're
fight.
just fight.
Yeah.
So, action? Or...
It's a hatchet fight chart.
Okay.
Yeah, action is.
Success.
Okay.
So, action succeeds with interesting results.
Okay. So there's a very long battle. It's not as one-sided as you would think. Although a lot of what he does seems like it shouldn't work, like it's fake, but it goes on basically the entire length of the ride, back and forth. You guys pushing each other around, beating each other up.
2 kilometers of pain, brother.
Yeah. While you're flying through space, and occasionally it'll just go completely dark, and things will happen, and then there'll be flashes of light and
then we
warping
kiss.
sounds and.
Oh wait, sorry.
That's the interesting part.
Yes.
And it's really interesting to watch. The people filming this and making money off it make a lot of money.
That they have to spend on feeding us.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, this is your referee, Ronald Reagan. Looks like the Hulkster's in quite a bit of trouble right now. I've never seen the Hulkster in a fight this bad. Are the aliens gonna control the world? Tune in. Let's find out.
Near the end of the ride, you finally get the upper hand. You push him completely off the cart, and he falls into a part of the ride that looks like a wormhole. And
Oh no, the Hulkster's fallen into some kind of wormhole.
And Q decides to turn it into an actual wormhole.
Oh.
And sends Hulk Hogan to Ceti Alpha 5.
Poor Hulk Hogan.
Didn't we leave a lot of augments back on
I'm sitting in the audience.
They have a new
with,
leader. It's fine.
Brethren.
I'm sitting in the audience with popcorn and stuff, and I yell, "Con!" 2 more.
2 more. You got 9 minutes to expend the 2 more. All right. So you have displayed your dominance over humanity's greatest warriors.
Yeah. And so I think that the Earth trembles at our presence and bows down to us.
Surprisingly, many of them cheer for it because nothing entertains humans more than a winner. And they tend to give away a lot of their rights to someone who is the winningest.
Yeah, and that's us.
Oh yeah, wait till we learn about the Olympics.
All right.
So, yeah, I would argue that given my prowess over Hulk Hogan and the apparent lack of interest by Q, that I should be the new actual leader for the Augments.
I'm gonna make the Hatchet the leader. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, I don't
he
know,
did
boy.
kill Khan.
Yeah.
This
I
is
think we
where
need
it
to keep
all
Q with our
unravels.
Between the nachos and the infighting.
He might not seem like he cares, but Q is still there for us.
I've only killed people that have gotten in our way.
Yeah, but
You tried to kill Marla.
I successfully killed Marla, thank you.
Yeah, you successfully killed Marla, and who brought her back?
Q, but then he disappeared again.
Yeah.
I'm just saying killership doesn't necessarily translate to leadership.
No, but I just was able to wrestle Hulk Hogan, the Earth's greatest champion.
At Disneyland.
At Disneyland, on Space Mountain.
Astrid says, well, if it's the greatest warrior, then I should be in charge.
All right, I'm fighting Astrid now.
Go ahead.
What? Folks, there's been a surprise.
There's a 1 and there's a 2.
Yes. And Earth's audience eats this up.
But
betrayal from within.
The cameras are still rolling over all of this.
Are you
absolutely.
keeping that? You
Huh?
keeping the 3?
Yeah, I think I'm keeping the 3.
Okay. Yeah, Astrid comes out and challenges
What's
you.
Astrid's theme music, opening stage music?
This is a failure or a stymie.
Stymie?
Yeah, what's Astrid's theme music?
That's a good question.
Love is a battlefield.
We are young.
Right?
Yes.
I don't know. I don't know this
Heartache
trying
to
to remember-
heartache.
I'm trying to remember the lyrics now. We are young.
Heartache to heartache, we something.
We something.
We stand. We stand. Love is a battlefield. And then she DDTs you out of nowhere. Yeah, it doesn't go like you're surprised.
Yeah.
Like she's ruthless.
Yeah.
Sweep the leg.
So how does this
So,
end up
did
resulting?
Astrid need to roll 2, or is it just...
No, because it's his
Okay. Yeah, you're trying to beat her with the... For some reason, instead of using any of the guns that we have available now, you continue... you continue using your stalagmite or whatever it was.
Stalagmite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's dual wielding like a human pistol and the Klingon disruptor now, and you come running at her and like swing past, and she's like, "What are you doing?" And then she is just as you're running past, she just pops you in the knee. Then you try again, and she's like, "Nope," and then shoots you in the shoulder. You drop the club at that point, so you're alive. You're just badly injured. You're not fighting anymore.
Okay.
Yeah, she stands over you and she's like, "You're an augment. I wouldn't kill you. You're too valuable."
Miley just stares at Astrid like,
But I need. Yeah, she says, "But I need you to say it. Who's your con?"
Astrid! Is that what you want?
Yes.
Okay.
"Con!"
All right. I think it's Nick's scene. We're getting up on the last 5 minutes.
That wasn't
here.
my scene? I thought that was my scene.
That was the scene.
That was your scene?
No, that was Nick's scene.
The
Oh, was
fight
it
in
next?
Space
Okay,
Mountain
so I
was
guess it's.
what I'd set up. So.
Oh, okay. God, I don't know.
No,
What?
fetch
Where?
the companions from Ceti of 5.
We just gotta get through 5 more minutes.
But like, where? I don't know. I
Let's
don't know
like
where the.
flash.
You can fast forward like
a
20
year.
years.
Yeah.
a year,
something.
So
whatever.
20 years later, we
Oh, can I make a suggestion?
Stardate. 20. Go ahead.
In order to get our compatriots off Ceti Alpha 5, we start the space program.
Well, there is a space program already, right?
wouldn't Reagan have
More
did he
space.
start it?
More space.
program.
No, he didn't.
Okay,
More
yeah,
program.
sure. Okay.
More
We
space.
did
We
divert all of-
convince Reagan to this is basically like time lapse, right? We have convinced Reagan to invest in the space program in order to rescue our friends at Ceti Alpha 5, even though they are not there yet and won't be for many years. We're
It'll
too stupid
take
to
us
realize
long
that.
to get there.
Sure.
Well,
And-
with Marla's expertise as a Federation officer, she's able to leaps and bounds get Earth ahead of schedule because she's no longer Starfleet, so she doesn't care about the Prime Directive anymore.
Right, which leads to all of the eugenics wars, which leads to the augments being created. So we've created more people in our own image who end up being Khan that ends up getting sent off into space.
And history
When you
repeats
ultimately
itself.
fail and time loop secured.
Correct.
All right.
That was deep.
We got 3 minutes. I I think that's a good end point, but let's fill it with commentary.
Can I
What the
find
hell just
out,
happened?
Can I find out everyone's secrets just out of curiosity?
Oh, I don't have any secrets.
Oh.
I think you might be the only one with a secret, right?
No, I think
Do you have a secret?
Guyan had.
Oh, I had a secret. Yeah, I'll pull it up.
That did not go where I thought, but I'm very
I think I know
pleased.
your secret. It was like the one you admire, right? It was Astrid. You want to be like?
I want to be most like Astrid. Yes.
My secret was I knew who killed Khan, which I would.
Which wasn't much of a secret
Yeah,
momentarily.
Until, yeah.
How did Khan die anyway?
The wheelbarrow.
Wheelbarrow accident.
Yeah.
We've gone over this before.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just a freak wheelbarrow accident.
Wheelbarrow jammed through his chest.
In the middle of the fight with the.
It was.
What I think is really interesting is that I admitted right off the bat that I killed Khan, and no one questioned it. No, we didn't go anywhere near it. It was just like, oh, okay. And then moving on, other things happened.
Yeah.
Maybe we should have killed him.
I figured it would come up at some point, but it just didn't.
Yeah.
It's like, oh man, Khan died, and you're like sitting there with a bloody hatchet.
Yep.
You're just like, yeah, and I killed him. What?
Well, let's go check out the Botany Bay.
Yeah.
I haven't been over there in a while.
It was it's amazing what riding on sharks did for our minds.
Yeah, it's true. Thank you,
to ride
Shark
on sharks? I don't
Suggester.
even care that you killed somebody.
Yeah.
I rode on a shark today.
Yeah. This game system was
Really
actually
softened the blow.
This game system was really easy to play.
Mhm.
You know, quick to get into, and really nice. It's just wherever you want to go.
Yeah, so
Well, wherever the viewers wanted to
the
go.
intent of the game is that it can be run with any post-apocalypse scenario that you can think of.
Like San Francisco.
Yeah, so the obvious one would be 1983 San Francisco. No, like the obvious is Mad Max is a huge inspiration. You could do zombie apocalypses. You could do Marooned on a Planet like we did with Ceti Alpha. You could just do like a total mystery, like there's nobody around. What happened?
To the viewing audience, too, just so you know, when we were talking about this whole thing beforehand, we had loosely planned that eventually we would still be on Ceti Alpha 5, and that Chekhov and
Terrell
would beam down, and then we'd have that whole interaction. But things went a little astray from plans.
As they do when you have basically 6 game masters all taking turns, which is part of the fun of the game because you're all collaboratively building something, but then it has the knife in the back aspect of your character has wants and desires that they want to press. But I think it was interesting how quickly you guys all got onto the same page, despite splitting, which is a normal thing. You split up and try to do your own jobs, and then that usually causes rifts because the foils are screwing things up for each other in order to favor their own plans and such. But you guys came back together pretty quick, which I think was great because as augments, like you're all on the same page. Augments forever, forever.
Once we found there was somebody in the mix who none of us could defeat, seemed like that was the side our bread was buttered
I didn't
on.
see that one coming.
We were all pretty intelligent enough to figure that. Oh, well,
I wasn't.
If there's one person to figure. Oh yeah, not all of us. But
You're the one that taught everyone.
So we're at, I think, what are we at? 11,371.
Wow.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Yeah, thanks for donating.
For the children.
For the children.
I hope everybody enjoyed our hilarious storytelling here, or at the very least thought it was hilarious.
Very serious
Very
storytelling.
serious, gritty,
Somber.
survival horror game.
We went from Ceti Alpha 5 to Disneyland with Hulk Hogan.
And we got a cool picture of us riding on sand sharks.
Yeah.
true.
Oh, did
That's
you
true.
see the other one that they put on?
Oh,
Someone drew a shark on top of a Toyota. Or it looks like that they had a shark tied on top of the Toyota.
That's
I
amazing.
can't see the details on it.
That's amazing.
I would say one of us just brought our land shark with me. Probably me, because I had a bond with it.
Yes.
And so it was there with us. It was just tied to the. We didn't talk
Yeah,
about
it's
it.
like the
but-
next scene. There's just rope on the inside of the bus, and like nobody questions it, and the camera just pans up, and there's a shark.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's improbable. Well, the witch rolled well, so. I'm surprised you didn't get more doubles.
There was one point where I would have had double, but it would have been like
It
a
would have
really
been
low
really
double,
bad,
so I still forced a reroll on it.
Yeah.
I'm surprised how often I either rolled 3 or 11.
Yes. Now you guys, it was either like right around the middle
Yeah.
or really high rolls. There were very few really low ones, and then you guys used the drama points to get out of that.
We don't like failing that much.
Giving each other drama points too also meant that we just had whoever rolled bad. There was just someone had the drama points, so they just pass them over.
But yeah, as soon as everybody's like focused on one thing, it's very easy because the drama points just keep cycling and feeding each other. So anyway, we are over time. So
Thank you
everyone.
Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.
From Ceti Alpha 5, signing off.
Slash Disneyland.
Yeah.
Up next, board games.
Woo!
Betrayal or Baldur's Gate.
Woohoo!
Baldur's.
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 Go for the eyes, boo!
Bebop, boop, boop.